If you've ever overpacked for a trip and come back with clothes that you didn't use, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. It is Friday, TGIF. We are here. We're going to close the week out strong. You know what it's all about. I don't even need to say anything else.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Hello and welcome back, folks, and happy Friday. Happy quad witching day. I hope you all are excited. Not sure anything's really going to happen from it, but we're going to break it down and we're going to talk about it and we're going to trade the action here today. And to do that, I'm going to bring on my main man, 1313. How are you today?
I'm doing much better than yesterday. I actually got some decent rest last night.
Hey, that is the cornerstone of any good day, is some decent rest. Good to hear it. All right. Let's go ahead and dive right in. We don't have Nick today. So it's going to be you and me, 13. You ready to do this?
That's okay. He deserves a day off.
He sure does. And he earned it. But it's going to be you and me here today. Let's talk about the SPY. Now, the first thing that jumps off the page for me, I know that you've got some levels you want to talk about. I'm going to turn it over to you and go to an intraday chart here, or simply go to your chart. But the big thing that jumps off the page here for me is what a bearish engulfing candle we had yesterday. So let's see if this continues to push the market down. As you can see from the screen right here, the 20-day moving average is at 535.29. We're currently at 544.95. I don't think that's going to happen here today, but stranger things have happened before. So we shall see. Now, 13, I know that you were doing some work on the levels here. What did you see in the SPY for today?
Well, in the pre-market, we are seeing that one of the previous all-time highs, that's the all-time high that we had before Monday, which was 544.12. That's been a support level in pre-market. So I'm going to be watching to see if that breaks down, much like we had a breakdown of the all-time high at 548.62 that I talked about yesterday. We saw that breakdown towards just about around lunchtime, and it never recovered. So what I'm looking for, the SPY to do today is either we're going to break down beneath that 544.12 level, or we're going to retake the low that we printed yesterday in the SPY, which I have at 545.18. You can draw a line right there on the lower time frame chart and see that in pre-market, that has been the level to get back above, and it's been rejected every time so far. So that's going to be the level I'm going to watch for. If we break above that, then I think that 548.62 is going to be on deck. If not, and we start to roll over, then 544.12 is going to be the level where I think we're going to break down. So that's the range I'm looking at for upside and downside today.
Okay. Real good stuff there on the SPY. And just because it seems to be a rarity, folks, NVIDIA is down today in the pre-market. It's down. It's down. I'm not used to saying that. Anyway, NVIDIA is down. We'll see where that ends up going. Let's take a look at some of the movers here that are going to be on deck for today. Then we can go back and take some tickers here from the chat. Hawks Life, we can take a look at Dell, no problem. Let's get some of these smaller movers out of the way, and then we'll jump on to some of those here. So, all right, first one here on the list. This is the big mover of the morning, the big piece of news on this rather slow summer Friday. Ticker SRPT, Sierra Romeo Papa Tango. This is Sarepta Therapeutics. Pretty big catalyst here today. Sarepta Therapeutics shares are trading higher after the company announced FDA approval of the expansion to the labeled indication for one of its drugs to include individuals with Duchenne muscular dystrophy with a confirmed mutation in the DMD gene who are at least 4 years of age. Also, multiple firms raised their respective price targets on the stock. Now, first thing to note here, this treatment that they're talking about, I heard quoted on CNBC early this morning that this treatment is about $3 million a patient. So super expensive, likely going to be that not a lot of people can afford that. However, you can see here what it's doing to the stock. Stock's still up 32% here. And actually, we've got a pretty good trade setup being given by the after hours range here. So I basically, on Trade the Pool Effect, I'll just flip over to that here real quick, just so you can see it. Oh, I didn't realize I have to adjust all of this stuff, but that's okay. What I've done here for SRPT is I basically marked off the sideways area that it's trading from. We'll see if this breaks out and retests and then breaks down. or if, excuse me, breakdown, retest, and then a bigger breakdown, or if we get a breakout, back test, and a break up. So that's the plan here for SRPT. We're going to wait until we get the signal flashed to us. If we don't, no big deal. We're going to trade something else. So let me go back here. Let's remove this. Let's go back to the movers tool. 13, what do you have here on SRPT? What do you think about this?
I think that we might have seen a lot of the move yesterday and after hours when we had the initial pop up, and it's been actually consolidated and found a range. That initial move, we're talking about 20 handles difference. When it was trying to figure out a range. Now we're still trading inside that range. It does have a 90 million share float, so it's not going to move like some of these other low float that we've been trading to. The news definitely seems strong. I'm just not sure that we're going to get a whole lot of price action out of this one quickly. We'll probably see it trade a number of handles to the upside and downside, but I don't know that it's going to be quick. I think we're going to see this one move around a bit, but it's going to be slow throughout the day. That's just my thought because just based on the volume that we're getting today so far.
Okay, and I'm glad that you said that, because that's one of the reasons why we're going to wait for some of those levels to fall and get retested, right? I don't need to sit around in a slow grind back and forth where I'm basically at flat. I mean, here's the deal. Stock's up 33% today. It's $164. Buying it here, you got to be very, very tactical about that. So we're going to try and use indicators to give us the best possible entry, and we'll go from there. Really good stuff there, SRPT. We will take a look at this one. I'm willing to bet a number of times here today. The other thing to watch out for SRPT, I'll be watching it and I'll call it if I see it, going to be option flow. We see increased option flow in either direction. That might also affect the stock here. Let me see SRPT. What do those options chains look like? They lots of open interest in the July contract at a number of strikes. So those should be liquid here today. So we will keep an eye on that. SRPT. Next here, I've got MINM. And if I recall correctly, this is an ex-girlfriend that we aptly named Mini-Me. Yes. Because of the ticker here. So this popped higher than 450, came all the way back in, almost round tripped it like some of the clothes that you didn't wear on the vacation. And now it is curling back up, taking out the VWAP. We'll see if this can actually build and go higher here. MINM, I believe. Yeah, I had no news on this one here today. Looks like just kind of a momentum move. 13, what do you think about Mini-Me here?
I think that this is an ex-girlfriend, and this thing is probably going to give us a little bit more trades than some of those larger float ones. It has a 1.4 million share float. Like you said, no news. They did do, I didn't write it down because I thought it was kind of irrelevant, but I think they did do a reverse split back in 2023. That's so far away at this point that I don't think it's really having any impact on the stock price action today. But I do have some levels for this. It's already through one of them, or it was through one of them yesterday. It's come back in since then. Or I'm sorry, no, this morning. I'll get it right, folks. Don't worry. $4. That's the big level I think that it's going to break out of, and it's actually almost there. And we're getting some volume right there. So this might end up providing some pre-market trades in addition to some regular session trades as well. But this is going to, I think this is going to be a decent mover today. Not sure if it's going to be a decent mover to the upside or the downside. I think it'll, because there's no news, but I think this will give us some trading opportunities, at least in the first 30 minutes of the day.
Okay, at least we've got something here and we have a plan already. We'll see how that affects, as you were mentioning here, this trading right up to 4 in the pre-market, literally as we're talking. Real quick here, Voodoo, good question. Ryan, I got to leave before Anne-Marie comes on the show. Will I be able to catch her by rerunning the playback of this show later today? Would like to ask her about butterflies for NVIDIA, SMCI, Snow, Amazon, and Apple. So this is a two-part question here. Let me go ahead and answer this for you. First of all, Voodoo, yes, you can absolutely watch the replay. Anne-Marie's segment comes at the end of live trading. So the actual YouTube replay that you're looking for is the live trading one. And then you want to just fast forward to the end. I don't end the stream, so it's part of that same stream. Thus, it's part of the recording. Good question. And I'd like to ask Anne-Marie about 5 different butterflies. Voodoo, I got to be honest with you. I'm not even sure we'd be able to cover that if you were here in the half an hour that we have, with that just being so many. But I do want to remind all of you folks, if you join Benzinga Pro and you become a Benzinga Pro customer, you actually get 24/7 access to Anne-Marie, where you can ask her any of those questions in the chat room. As you can see, some of our users are already doing that, and Anne-Marie is providing answers. So Voodoo, love to see you on the platform here. Of just say you or anyone else that wants to interact with Anne-Marie more often than we do on this show, go ahead and get yourself a Benzinga Pro subscription. If you're not sure where to start, shoot me an email. I will find you the best possible deal that we offer right here. So Voodoo, really good question. I will do my best. A lot of these stocks are pretty popular, so I would imagine we'll cover those in that segment. Really good question, though. Okay, let's go ahead and keep moving here. Next on the list is going to be AVTE. This is Alpha Victor Tango Epsilon. This is Aerovate Therapeutics. This stock traded above 170, actually popped in the after hours yesterday, popped again in the pre-market today above 170, up towards the 180 handle, came back in, reclaimed the VWAP at 157, and here we are holding. So volume not terribly impressive. This is one that I definitely want to wait out that opening print, see how the stock behaves, see if it comes down to a tradable level, and then go from there. 13, did you have anything here on AVTE? Looks like we had news from yesterday in the after hours that one of the directors bought nearly 1 million shares at 167. So you can actually get a better price than he paid right now on AVTE. What do you think here?
Well, being that the float is 11.2 million shares, he did take quite a large position. The other thing that I see here with this is that they have a pretty high short interest. So this is also squeezing. 19.5% of the float shorted with 9.77 days to cover. That's gonna really get this going, I think. So we'll have to wait and see what we get out of the gate here. But I'm seeing that there's also a whole bunch of downgrades that this received to $2. So maybe this gets a good run up to $2, and then there's the sellers will start coming in. We'll see. But I don't have a whole lot on this. I didn't really cover it. But that's just some of the things I'm seeing, just taking a quick glance at it here.
Okay, there you go. Next here on the list, gotta be your favorite stock in the entire stock market, Hollow. Okay, HOLO. Now, guys and gals, I apologize. We've traded this one a whole bunch. There should be nothing new about this one. Okay, there should be no reason to do something outside of your trading plan. We've seen what this stock can do quite a bit. It loves to pop. It loves to drop. This is one you definitely want to be careful of. But we've also seen gigantic outsized runs in this, so I understand the impetus to play it. Now, here we are. We popped in the pre-market up to 120, roundly rejected there, and then using the VWAP as resistance. Looks like we're testing that right here at 107. Look out if we lose $1 here on Hollow. Hollow, YOLO, JOLO. What do you got here on this one?
Nothing. I'm not going to touch this until probably toward the end of the summer, because if you look at the daily chart, you can see that there's a bit of a pattern going on with this one, where it seems that every 6 months it will have a wild hair. There you go. So you can see that it's around the beginning of the year, maybe February, January, that this will start to take off, and then the same thing also happens in August, around that, or toward the end of summer as well.
August, right?
Yeah. So I'm just looking at that as a type of pattern that we can anticipate a pop. So I'm going to be not really even having anything to do with this until towards the end of this summer. I'll start taking a more serious look at this next month.
Okay. I hope that the sounds that we're hearing are not Lynn and Randy weeping, as you're not going to trade Hollow here today. So we'll see. We're out here having some fun.
I'm going to leave it all the fun for them.
Okay. Justin, you said Hollow loves to pop and also drop. My question is, does it like to pop, lock, and drop it? Well, you know what, Justin, I can appreciate where you're coming from there with the song lyrics modified for the situation here. But simply looking at the chart, it doesn't look like it locks anything.
No, this is like it's actually a dance that you and the stock do. It's going to do the popping and dropping, but you got to do the locking into the gains.
Okay. Hey, we on fire
back
here this
here,
morning.
Sydney?
Look at 13.
Is that what
Look
you're
at
talking about back
13.
here?
What's that?
He's saying I have a wild hair, and I think it's the my cowlick, but whatever. Hey, look
It's
at
also probably because your headphones. You will
Yeah.
often see me adjust and touch the back of my head when I have these headphones on. It messes up the hair. It is what it is. I can't get it.
Sydney, if it's really bothering you, I could put the hat back on. How about that?
Ooh.
Look at
Spiciness in the chat. Bonjour.
look at MINM mini me. This thing is looks like it's trying to get going for a $4 breakout again. Still not there yet. Just keep this on your radar. I think we're gonna see some pretty big moves here in MINM out of the gate. I don't know what it's going to do the rest of the day, but this thing it looks like it really wants to take out 4.
The last stock here on the list here, Gilead. This did pop as high as 74. This actually looks like it might curl through the VWAP. So watch Gilead here on that. All right, let's flip over to the chart tool. We're going to go ahead and break down Dell first. I think that was hawkish. If I got your name correct, I apologize if I butchered it. Something close. It's got a hawk in it, which is why it's cool. But let's take a look at Dell here, because Dell's been an interesting story, right? We had a huge run up here, dropped, and now we're curling back up, and we're doing it pretty good, right? We were getting the expanding volume here on the daily chart. Yesterday, the stock really pulled back. The interesting part about this to me is that, first of all, we're actually in this gap that doesn't fill until about 169 and change. You even call it 170, frankly. The pullback from yesterday stopped right here at the 20-day moving average. That's what this magenta line is. And it looks like Dell's kind of holding in here. So I know we're down 1.6% here, down about $2.50 in the pre-market. But just keep an eye on where we're at here on the daily chart. Let's see what the market does. I would imagine this is going to trade with the market. So if the market's really weak all day today, maybe we don't get a bounce off this moving average. But if it's strong here, I could see this as a bounce point. 13, you got anything that you want to contribute here on Dell?
I'm looking at the intraday chart, and wow, we had some wild action yesterday. Let's see, got as high as 161.50-ish and as low as 145. I think that 145 level that we got down to yesterday is going to be interesting because I think if we start to trade down there and we don't get support, that's where the price is going to fall through. This kind of has that bearish setup. You ever kind of bounce a ball and it just kind of slowly comes to a stop and the bounces are shallower until it just finally stops rolling? The price tends to do that, and then it falls through a lot of times. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is that we're getting a bit of a bouncing ball, and it's kind of just slowing and continuing to attack this one. It looks like 146 in pre-market. So we lose that. I think 145 is on deck for support, which it will need to in order to keep the upside going, because that's a support level, 145, a big one. And if we lose that, then I don't know, we're probably going under 140. Look at MINM.
Yeah, I will here in a sec. Really quick, DJF, consumer is weakening. So the theory is Dell and MU will be hurt. I'm with you on that one. The consumer is definitely going to weaken. To be quite honest with you, we haven't even seen the start of that yet, in my opinion. I know it's been a little bit delayed, but believe me, it's coming. So I'm with you there on the thesis. That's for sure. Interesting levels there, 13. And I love the ball analogy there. Someone else is going to need to come in and impart force to this in order to get those to bounce it any higher than what it's been doing right now. So we'll see on this one. Okay, you want to take a look at MINM? I'm assuming that's going ham right now. Yes, we are above 4. Nice big move here right before the open. Let's wait and see what the first print is like on this one, instead of just kind of buying it right out of the gate.
460 is the next upside target I have in this one. So it looks like in the this morning we got up to 469 and came right back in, and went all the way back down underneath 4. So 4 is quite a level. And now that we're above it, we open the regular session today above 4. I'm going to be looking at that as support that needs to hold for more upside. So $4 seems to be a really important level right now.
Okay. D's saying this looking like it wants to run. Maybe this is just my own bias here, but I'll actually take the other side of the trade here, D's. I actually think that this stock could break down. The new Star Wars series is the hottest garbage that ever garbaged. In fact, I believe it set a new record low for viewer ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. The story continues to get worse over there. Yesterday, I saw reports that the Iger and team know that they really kind of need to change something at the park experience. It's just too expensive. This company has made some really poor decisions, and I have a very, very tough time really kind of calling this along. Now, I could be totally wrong on this. You could say, stuff your bias, Ryan. I'm going to do my own thing, and that would be the correct move. You always want to trade what you see and what you're comfortable with. But I just don't see it here, DJF. I see it using that 20-day moving average as resistance very, very strongly. I don't necessarily see what the bull case is here. I wouldn't be shocked if we give up the 200-day and then go lower. We'll see here on Disney. Just my own opinion on it. Do you have any opinion on Disney here?
It does look like the downside is decelerating. So I think I'll just go out and give you that it looks like it is starting to slow down the sell-off here. So I'm going to want to see confirmation that that's the case. We do need to retake that 20-day SMA that you were just talking about. I think that's going to be, the first sign. I can see that we did when we filled the gap to the downside. You see that huge gap that we had. Back
that's going to be right in here.
That got filled to the downside, and we actually just ended up filling it on last Friday, and we're trading back above it. So we were talking about this, I think, yesterday. This is what can happen once we fill the gap. Once the gap's filled, the price can tend to turn around and trade up. That's what's happening so far. But like you said, it needs to. I think we need to see that 20-day SMA get taken out first, and then we can start talking about the 50. So let's see. Let's get some confirmation of bottoming here, and then we can talk about direction, I think.
Yeah, there you go. Some pretty good levels there if you're actually going to end up taking this long. Jay's Life here. Ryan, would love to hear your opinion on WMMVY.MX. Okay, Jay's Life, way to go with that ticker. Do you think because there's literally blood in the streets in Mexico politically that this might be a good time to enter? So what you're talking about is Walmart de Mexico and ADR. That's what that ticker is. I'll be honest with you, Jay. I don't have any angle on this. I don't have a whole lot of contacts that are currently in Mexico or South America at the moment. I don't trust anything that I see on any television channel regarding what's going on down there. I have no line on this. I don't even have a line on the United States Walmart. So I apologize for not being prepared for this particular ticker, but I would open this up to the group. Does anyone else have a thought here? I do understand the thesis, Jay. You're saying if there's actually blood in the streets, maybe this is the time to buy. If you take a look at that chart, it is at a low here. I can't give you any type of opinion here that's based on any type of good thought or intelligence, frankly. And as a result, I would probably just pass on this one.
I can, we have about 15 seconds before we open, so I'll just try to make this quick. On the technical side, we did have a death cross. I don't think it's really going to make a big difference since we've kind of been in and out of golden death crosses for a number of years in this. I'd like to see it get back up to the 20-day SMA and retake that. If it can't, then I think we're going to bear flag and it's going to go down some more. Okay.
Good stuff there. I will say you stumped me here, Jay. So points, I'll give you a 1-up for that one. That's just not a ticker I was watching. All right. Market is open. Let's take a look at what's going on. I'm going to switch over to trade the pools so we can exercise some trades here today. 13 is not even waiting. He's just like, we got to go to mini-me. We got to go. There's SRPT breaking beneath the channel that I want to see here. I'm actually going to throw this up on a different screen so I continue to flip around to other stocks without potentially missing this. Let me go ahead real quickly here. Drawing tools. Let me just go ahead and do this on my own. Give me 1 sec here, guys.
Sure. In the meantime, we'll just see if MINM mini-me can hold 4 and break 460. That's the range that we're in right now. I think 460 is it's a really big level. I have it drawn here from the last time we were trading this. And then after that, we could see a pretty good sized run if it breaks 460. I have the next upside target at 622. So
and this is on MINM. SRPT is breaking that to the downside here. We'll see if we get a retest and a rejection at that level that we just outlined? If so, that's going to be our short entry there for a potential day trade. Here is the mini-me chart. Looks like it's getting a little heavy here after that run up prior to the open.
Yeah, man, this thing is just wild.
By the way, some of the other FinTwit traders that I've been following for a long time, looks like they are on MINM as well this morning.
Nice. SRPT. I think that we need to kind of really the price needs to pick itself back up because it's falling out of the range that it's been trading in since it popped yesterday and went to the 181. So if this starts to leak, the next area that I would want to play if I was going to play SRPT would be the 200-day. The 200 EMA on the 5-minute chart. That's at 146.50. So if we start to leak down there, that could be a good bounce spot.
AVTE also SRPT coming back up to the VWAP as we speak. AVTE, this is worth watching. Looks like this might try and go over above its pre-market highs here. I have that level at 174. Intraday high print here 170. There is still size sitting at that 174 level, so we'll see if that's coming out. Are you guys getting a commercial? ADWTX saying commercial ad. So I didn't do anything, but I'll check with the show's team on what's going on. Let me know what happened for you guys. I don't see anything on my end, so sorry about that.
We didn't cover NVNO, did we? I don't think we did. Did we? Do you recall?
NVNO? No, that was that $5 stock that had news, wasn't it? No, we did. That was not in our rundown. We got all distracted.
No worries. This one had interim data to be presented at the Vascular Surgery 2024 annual meeting. 13.27 million share float, has a 6.5% short interest with 19 days to cover. This could get a move, if it gets noticed. But right now, it seems like it sold and kind of just went back into the consolidation range that it was in previously. But just keep an eye on it if this gets noticed. Could pick up a bit. MINM testing 4.
Sorry, got sidetracked here. Okay.
MINM testing 4. See if it
SRPT. It's okay. It bounced right back to its VWAP. Let's see if it reverses here.
Always on the lookout for anything that we traded previously that's moving.
Yeah, guys, regarding the ads, the show's team might be trying to monetize the channel just to kind of keep us on the air. That might be what's going on. Like I said, I'll check in with them and I'll see if there's anything that you can do to get rid of them, like subbing or something of that nature.
SMFL has been getting some pretty good price action this morning, whipping around a little bit, but the volume really just isn't quite there. Just keep it on the back of your list here for a potential move later. Just still on mini-me right now because this thing is trying to decide if it's going to break down beneath 4 or break out over 460. That's the range right now.
SRPT looks like it's struggling to get above the VWAP. Almost wondering if a short here might work.
Smoke Tuna mentioning VNet. This one's popping right now. I don't know what it's moving on. It looks like it might be from earnings yesterday. They have 154 million share float, and they typically trade underneath 1 million shares a day. I don't know if this is going to really get going or not, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Might be slowing down here.
Wow. Look at what happened with MINM. That went all the way up to the 460 level and came right back in. That was the first actual print of 460 in the regular session. And then it came back down and then went to slightly under 4. Woo, what a volatile stock this one is this morning. Yeah, it is. It's really choppy.
Yeah, it is. I'm thinking about trying SRPT short here. Oh, no, pushing above the VWAP there. All right, I'm going to keep flipping around. We'll check back in on this. I was really hoping to hit this one, but maybe I'm just being a little too eager. Here is GRDI. This looking pretty good so far. GRDI could break. Tuna, what level are you looking at here for the break? Yesterday's VWAP, we're actually above that. Maybe this 136 in here.
Well, it had a high yesterday of 170. This must be, is this relative volume? Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say this is on relative volume. I don't know what the news is. I haven't looked yet, but we did get a lot of movement out of this yesterday. So I think that's why we're getting.
Yeah, I don't think
today.
there is anything new on this. Let me check. Jay mentioning that NVIDIA is getting dip bought. Okay, indeed it is. Looks right out of the open here. GRDI, excuse me. No fresh news here confirmed. So that is just going to be a momentum runner from yesterday, 13.
Okay.
Or at least it looks like it.
SRPT, still trying to recover here, back inside that channel. 170 on SRPT, if you're buying down here for a trade and you get it like 160 and it goes to 170, that could be just a good point to pay yourself there, because that 170 has been a level of resistance. You can see that from the pre-market trading. So that would be, in my cautious experience, I would take some, if not all, off the table at 170 and let the rest run, if I'm still holding any.
Okay. I'm thinking this breaks down here, honestly.
Where's our Oracle, Becca? Yeah, Becca, where you at? MINM, man, this thing is hanging in there. This has been a really fun stock to be involved in this morning.
I'm going to try a little SRPT right here. Man, that spread put me down $15 right off the open there. All right, we'll see if that this ends up working out. High risk trade here on this one. Let me check out NIMM. Wow, I screwed that one up. That's wild. MINM coming back into the VWAP here.
Also got Clean Slate mentioning Zap. That was I think a mover yesterday, right? Or it was.
Yeah, it sure was. That was a big mover right out of the gate.
And I don't see any news today, so probably also another relative volume mover here. I have under 1 million shares in the float, so that's going to really move around too.
Let's check. Here's GRDI. This kind of slowed after its pop. AVTE, we did put that one on watch here. That's going back up to those pre-market highs there, AVTE.
Yeah.
The volume here at AVTE looking pretty good.
Yeah, it is. So the pre-market high for this one, well, I think that is after hours. No, pre-market high is 175. So there's a pretty good chance that if we break out over, what is it? It's coming up to 170 and getting rejected. So over 170, we probably take it to 175 and then go higher there. Looks like Mini Me is not done yet. This thing is just whipping.
Wild stuff here on Mini Me. It looks like it's bounced off that VWAP several times. What else we got going on here?
Here we go. Mini Me trying 460 again.
We gonna go higher here, you think?
Well, it does have a number of orders it has to chew through in order to go higher. I'm not quite sure it has the volume yet, because look at these upper shadows that it's putting on.
Yeah, exactly.
Not really looking too encouraging there, but it's still above VWAP, so we'll see if it can hold above it.
You were right. This is wild. This is a battle here.
Oh,
big battle. 414 is the VWAP I got here and trade the pool. We'll see if we come back into that level, perhaps bounce off of it.
Yeah, I think this is the one that has a lot of eyes on it at the moment.
You're probably right.
Because you were just saying it was getting traded by some of the.
Yep, I see other day traders on this name as well. Absolutely.
GRDI also has a pretty decent setup going on here. Volume's not great at the moment. We were just talking about this one, grid infrastructure. when the volume comes in, this could end up being really good, but I'd like to see it test the VWAP again.
Yeah.
There we go. Mini-me.
As soon as I took it off the screen, we got that break that we were looking for.
Mm.
You trim into that move?
Yep.
13? Yeah, I was going to say that's what I would have done too on that one. Good stuff.
Now, if we go over 460, this is going to, we're going to really see some fireworks, I think. Sorry.
Okay, no, it's all good. Smoke Tuna mentioning COMM here, so let me go back to Mini-Me.
What's going on with this one?
SRPT starting to trade up here. Nice little pop there. We keep going here. I'm going to have to close this one. That short doesn't look like it's going to work. Actually, a big volume stick here. If we take a look at SRPT, well, at least on my Thinkorswim, pretty big volume stick here. Keep going here. We're going to have to close this one on an L. Started off all right yesterday. Might be starting today off with a small L.
It's okay. Lowercase L's are all right.
Lower, that's right. SRPT definitely trying to go higher. We are stopped out of that. That short did not work. All right, let's set up something else here.
I mean, me still holding VWAP. It's an encouraging sign. Does make me slightly nervous because we're still not breaking. We got as high as 470, but we're still not, closing above the 460. I want to see some 5-minute candle closes above that 460 level, and then we're probably going to see some more upside. Here we go. We're testing that 460 again. Got a 10,000 orders there. It's chipping away at it.
Lots of stuff going on here with the small names.
Yeah. Let's see. SPY is looking like it's breaking down here.
SPY is at the lows here. Let me bring that up. Sorry, I'm flipping around quite a bit here this morning.
Oh yeah, me too. So yeah, that 5.44 and 12 cent level. That's where I was looking for. That was the previous all-time high that we were looking at pre-market for support. Broken down through that. Let's see if we can start getting some 5-minute candle closes underneath that. That's going to be another minute, and then we'll see what happens there. Could probably identify some more downside targets on the way. Maybe 5.43.40 could be another spot that the SPY bounces. We'll have to wait and see. Just waiting for Mini-Me to grow up here.
AVTE still testing the top end of that range there. This looking like this is setting up to go. NIVF, I think someone mentioned this penny stock earlier.
All right, here we go. We got Mini-Me at 480, and it came right back into 460.
Rick, out Mini-Me green. Nice little scalp there. Man, I tell you what, the scalp play is clearly the play. Look at these upper shadows on every candle that we have on this 3-minute chart. You get that pop, selling into it does not seem like a bad move, even a little bit.
No, and now this next candle still trying to get over 460. That 460 level there, the bulls and the bears are having it out right there. Hims commercial. Is that what the commercials people are getting?
I have no idea. I can't control it. I can't do anything about it. So I don't even see it. So
YouTube messing with their algorithm again.
Can't control it, guys. I'm sorry about that.
GRDI getting mentioned here.
Actually, GRDI stopping here at its VWAP. This actually might turn around here.
Yeah, this is what I'd be interested in going long on here for is a VWAP bounce. Looks like so far it did come back down and test VWAP. So we'll see if this is going to turn around and go move up again. 125 is the intraday high that we have in this one. We're looking for what was the level I mentioned? Oh, I guess that is the high from compared to pre-market. Not really sure how high this one will go, but I think we might see a little bit of resistance in the 130s.
AREB, another one that was a penny stock that was mentioned here. This one actually pretty active so far. CLOV on the scanner, that continued to move higher. CLOV.
All right, Mini-Me, you going to break down beneath VWAP here? It's a pretty nasty looking candle.
See if it bounces off of that VWAP level. I've got that at 423, by the way.
That'd be pretty cool.
Tesla, big reversal off that move off the open.
All right, so it looks like SPY came down to the just slightly above the 543 handle. And I don't know if that was even something I had mentioned, or if that was the handle I mentioned. It might have been pretty close. But came down there, found support, trying to reverse. At this point, I'm going to be looking at that 544 and 12 cent level as resistance. Now that it's turned to that, it was previously support. Was support in pre-market all morning. We broke down out of the open here, and now that's the level it has to get back above. And I don't think the bears want them back above that level. So it could be quite a fight there at 544 and 12 cents.
Mini-Me coming into this VWAP here.
Yeah, and it's still got to hold 4. I'd like to see it get back above VWAP though. Meta below 500. Geez, that thing got to 500. I haven't looked at Meta in a while.
Yeah, me either. So far, this has held the VWAP here. It actually looks like it's bouncing here. Bummer, man. Had that plan, didn't grab it though.
Meta. Okay, so 520. I have a line. I have a level here at 520 for Meta. I don't know when I put this in, but I think it might have been on that first move back in March, all the way up to where we got to 520 initially. That's apparently some kind of resistance level, because we have not had very many closes above that level. As a matter of fact, I count only 2 closes above 520, and we visited up that level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Not
9
a big
times.
red candle.
9 times. Yep. So 2 out of the last 9 times we've actually closed about 520. So if in the future, when this stock gets up to that 520 level again, could see a pretty good breakout, but it could just as easily come back in that same day. All right, so Mini-Me, what are you doing now? You went up to 460 again, traded up above it a little bit, came back in. Now we're trying to get VWAP support. What a fun stock this has been.
Yeah, I'll be honest though. I'm not. If this comes back into VWAP at this point, I'm not even sure it holds it.
It might not.
Yeah.
But then I'd be looking at $4 for support.
Yep. Here we go. Let's see if it holds 420 here. There's a little bit of an offer down there, but not much.
GRDI, the volume's not there, but the pattern is so far behaving as and resolving as it should. So we'll see if that's going to hold up there. Mini-Me.
Just broke its VWAP here, but it's trying to bounce.
AREB, expanding volume. I'll take a look at AREB. AB.
See if we recapture this VWAP here on Mini-Me.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if AREB got as high as 130, but that's like, 60 cents away. That's almost a 2x. I don't know what's going on with this company. I don't know anything about the company, but I'm just looking at some technical levels here, and 130 is pretty interesting. So I'll just put that out there.
Mini-Me staying right under its VWAP here.
Yeah, it might be rolling over.
Yep. See if we can recapture here.
Just kind of watching some of these other index ETFs. SPY still slightly going down. I think we'll have another visit at 543 soon.
Mini-Me still stopping here at its VWAP. Don't feel great about this unless this starts to go over. Volume also not looking great here on this one.
Nope.
There we go. More lows here. We'll see if this 4 was your next spot, right? We'll see if it holds 4.
Yeah.
So you guys are saying NVIDIA breaking down. Looks like the semis are all kind of breaking down, right? NVIDIA lower, MU lower. How's AMD doing? Lower. How's the SMH? Yeah, semiconductor sell-off here again.
Yeah, I don't know how much we'll sell off before the dip buyers come in and pick it up. But let's see here with NVIDIA. NVIDIA 125 looks like a good spot to do some dip buying. I'm not going to be doing it. After that, then I would probably think that, ooh, and if we lose 120, then I think 115 is on deck. We'll see. These have all run. I wouldn't be buying up here anyway, even on the weakness. These really need to come in. Maybe if we get, these come down like 20, 25%, which would be hard on the stock, then that would be a good, I think that would be a good time to buy for a dip. I don't know that I would go long at that point. I still think there could be some more downside in semis.
I'd love to see that entire thing come in. Honestly, that would just be great, I feel like.
All right, Smoke Tuna, are we going to see GRDI retake 125? Yeah, we'll see. I'm not making any predictions on that. Yes, sorry.
Me trying to take VWAP and go higher here. I took some on that. We'll see if this works. If not, we'll just stop. Not gonna let the Friday get ruined early. Not before I get to the golf course, anyway.
Did you go golfing yesterday?
No.
Oh, okay.
On Wednesday. I am actually going to do driving range, not the course. Okay, Mini-Me is actually trying to get going here. We lose 420 here. We'll stop out of this though, folks. Let's see if we can bounce here at all. Sell into the move up.
AKYA getting mentioned here. That one just getting a increase in volume. I don't know what on. Looks like I don't see any news.
Mini-Me here. 436 looks to be the level that it's got to take out if this VWAP bounce is going to materialize into anything. See if it's got the strength. 420 is the dead spot.
Where the wisdom left, right?
I don't know. I hope I didn't offend him too much.
You say that magic number, and I always look for his comment.
Oh, did I only? Oh, I didn't even. I did. My order size changed. Okay. Well, I can kind of wait this out a little bit more. I only had 100 shares. Thought I had more than that. It's trying here. It's trying here.
Volume's certainly leaving it.
How's that KRKR? Well, I have to type the right letters. Man, I am struggling here this morning, 13.
You'll get it. That's what the weekend's for.
That is right. Let me tell you. That is right.
All right. What are you going to do, Mini-Me? You going to take out VWAP? Still waiting for volume in GRDI.
Added here to Mini-Me just so they can actually make this a trade if it goes.
MBio doing a good job.
We'll check on MBio here.
Yeah, I'll take a look at
that. Was a penny stock, right? Yeah. So this is the one that was a penny stock, flirted with dollar territory, and looks like it's trying to do it again here. Honestly, for these penny, let me know what you guys think, Crow and Tuna, or whoever's playing these penny names. If this thing pops 70 cents, you think this could test $1 today? Let me know.
Looks like Palantir trying to turn around after hitting just under 24. All right, paying myself a little bit with GRDI. I'm probably just going to raise my stop and not worry about it. I don't like the volume in this one.
Yeah, I don't like the volume in mini me either. Really kind of collapsed here. We're down to 410. This will be done.
AREB up to 85 cents. So you guys are playing that. Great job.
Ooh, nice break out of that flag. Nice job.
We're getting a mention of SPCE by Denise.
Ah, I like this. Smoke Tuna saying on MBio, I'm going to wait for the full float to be traded. Okay. All right. Maybe this looks like this is going lower here. Yeah, we're going to stop out right here before this goes lower. Oh, let's see what else we got here.
Here's 4. This is
On
where
what?
on mini-me. This is where it would have to reverse or not.
I'm flipping around too. I'm moving too fast here today.
Don't worry.
I can't. I have to focus. If I'm going to be successful on a day like today, I've got to focus, and I'm not doing that right now. So mini-me, this looks like this is going lower here, folks.
We just tested 4. How close to 4 did we get? 401. So not quite breaking down yet, but the MACD does look like it's rolling over. Now, sometimes the MACD will start to converge, and then it'll just reverse, setting up a later crossing. 420 has the big order in the way of more upside. So volume needs to really expand here in mini-me in order to get through that.
Yeah, and the volume has been consolidating. I'll wait that out. We can try it again if we kind of curl up here.
Now, if you bought the dip this morning in SRPT,
let me put that up here real quick, 13.
Okay.
BRB, one sec while you explain that.
Yeah, if you bought the dip in SRPT here, you just had a couple of nice 5-minute candles, got up to some a supply zone here in the pre-market. So I think that's the selling is temporary. We just want to see VWAP hold in SRPT, and then we could end up pushing up higher. 170 would probably, like I think I said that earlier, 170 would be an upside target where I'd want to shave some of this off. So that's what I would be doing in SRPT. That's a nice reversal move here. Captured, got us down at as low as 157, and now it traded up as high as 168. Well, guess what? That's a nice $11 win there per share. I think that's great if you pick that up. Mini-me still trying to hold above 4. Why does this market feel like there are no humans trading it? Because there aren't. I think most of the market is being traded by algos and computers. So if you know how to screw with them, you're going to win. KNX 4813. I'll take a look at that. Jay's life.
All right. Oh, sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, so yeah, KNX is moving up. I don't think it's on any news that I don't see any. What does a 5-minute chart look like on this? So, somebody had said something earlier in the chat. I'm sorry, I can't remember who, about Canada having an issue with shipping or rail, I believe, and that we would want to look towards the trucking for upside. That seems like that could be what's driving Knight Swift transportation. Who said that earlier?
That was in the happy hour chat, right? In pro?
No, that was in live trading chat here earlier this morning, I believe.
Morning all. Wonder if the threat of a rail strike in Canada may bode well for trucking stocks. XPO. That is Kari from the pro chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All good. I just want to make sure we get it. That right.
Mm-hmm. And that great thesis. I think that might be one of the reasons why KNX is going. What are some of the other transportation names we could look at? What's JB Hunt is JBH, right?
Yeah. I've traded that one. JBH.
No, it's not.
JBHT.
Oh,
JB Hunt.
There we go.
JBHT. Yep.
That one's also moving too. So that theory might actually be what's causing these transportation trucking stocks to go up. Great idea.
Mini Me still flirting with that VWAP here. Slate says FRGT.
No,
30-cent penny stock.
No, that's just all the consonants in the word forget. So that's why I don't. That's why I don't touch that one. I forget about it.
Oh, that's good.
But that's a great idea with the truckers. That's good job. I like that. So check this out with SPY. Looks like it got a little bit of a push from the bulls. Try to get back above that 544 and 12 cents. It's currently in the process of trying to recapture that on this 5-minute candle. So I think we're going to get a little bit of a hint about where the price is headed if we cannot close above that level on this current candle, which has another 2.5 minutes left in it.
Okay.
VG mentioning TSM. It's moving. This is one of the stocks that actually should be continuously going up, not NVIDIA or any of those other companies. This is the one that's actually doing a lot of the big work in the semiconductor space. They actually have the manufacturing process to go as low as 2 nanometers.
FPCE coming up off the bottom.
Nice. All right, NME is trying to chew its way through 420, or I guess smoke its way through 420. I'll be here all day, folks.
Here you go, folks. From the shows department here. Apologies on the frequency of the ads today. We're trying something new for the channel, but based on your feedback, we'll adjust it to be more tasteful and less disruptive. So there you go, folks. Again.
All right, Mini-Me back up to VWAP. Let's see what happens. Is this where it gets rejected, or are we going to see a breakout? This is a raise your stops and get your limit orders ready for pops.
What was your entry on this one? God, this was the move I was hoping to get too.
As soon as it went under VWAP, I started adding to the downside.
Okay. Let's see if it loses VWAP here. Nope.
Caesar asking Micron blow off top or buy the pullback. I think with all these semiconductor names, we're just going to want to kind of wait and look and see what happens with the bottom. We're seeing some weakness. I really don't want to make any recommendations about what to do with these semi names at the moment. They could get pretty volatile, and I don't want anybody getting caught in them because I said it's a great time to buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you on that. I don't feel great about really anything in the market. I'm kind of in the same position, and I think I just chased Mini-Me here, which is disappointing.
Scale out of it a little bit when you turn positive.
Yeah, that's I'm basically just gonna scalp just to get green on the screen here, like we talk about.
Okay. Now TSM coming right up to that's a 5-minute chart. The TSM, maybe once it goes under 170, we can. I think we'll take another look at it because that seems to have been the breakout spot. And if it can't recapture that after it trades beneath it, then we might be seeing more downside in TSM. So that's this. I just want to wait with these semis. They've run so much. Well, Mini-Me still working,
still holding in there. It definitely chased on this move through the VWAP, but we'll see if it's got the strength to go above. This was the initial plan. So,
yeah, I think that as soon as it started going to VWAP, I started adding, got a whole bunch at 4 or just above 4. And I've been selling into the into that VWAP when it's been breaking over VWAP. So
that 450 area looks like a spot. I know 445's got to fall first, obviously, but 450 has some size there, so we'll see if we get that. We're starting to top wick here though, so got a bad feeling.
You got a feeling. All right. right, 450.
There's 445. Oh,
Yep.
they stopped it right there.
It's okay. I mean, it looks like there's a little bit more sellers up here than there are buyers. The bids are really small comparatively to the ask. So we just need one of those big buyers to come in and kind of wipe this out. But I'm not sure we're going to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll get that either. If it wipes out that 445, I think you do 450 fast. The question is going to be, does that buying volume stick around or does it dry up here? A little pullback here.
Mm-hmm.
Mini-me, that is brutal, dude. That is a brutal chase. Don't do what I did on this stock. I am making a mess of this one here. Brutal.
ZLDPF. I'll take a look at that.
I don't even know if I have that one in the feed here.
New Zealand Pharma.
Yeah, don't have that in the Trade the Pool feed. Might actually have that one in Pro though. Let me see if I can bring that up here. I'm just on a different screen. ZLDFF. No.
Give me 1 second. I gotta go.
Oh, ZLDPF. Yep, all good, dude. All good. ZLDPF.
Yeah, my robo vacuum has started making noise, so I gotta shut the door there. Anybody else have those little Roombas or any of those things?
No, they map out the inside of your house and send it to people.
No trades yet this morning in Jay Summers.
Good discipline, Jay Summers. I really wanted to trade here today, and I ended up getting myself in a mess. Good job.
MBio ripping, says Webcoin. Take a look at MBio.
This is going to be a disaster. I can already feel it. Here is MBio. That penny stock is ripping to the upside here on MBio. AREB, that other penny stock, still holding higher here.
GRDI.
It's pretty decent too.
Yeah, it's just really slow moving.
Yeah, it's just not doing anything yet, but it does look like it's holding here. I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes higher with volume. Man, that mini-me chase was bad. That was really good. That was really well played by you, 13. Really well played. I totally let that get to me.
I appreciate it. I don't want to say I'm done yet because we're still inside that range. You know, from 4 to 460.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna hold for a break of 4. It'll be kind of a bigger loss than I want to take on a day trade like this, but at this point, it is what it is.
So the CI has my floor plans, yeah, because you can't get my floor plans online. All that stuff is already available online, folks. I'm not worried about it.
MBio volume picking up in this name. Oh my God, yeah, big this is the volume breakout you were looking for here. Almost the full float trade. So Tuna, let me follow up on that question from earlier. You said you were waiting for the full float to trade, but we're getting an outsized move ahead of that happening. So how do you adjust that for your own trading plan here? Like, what are you doing? Are you waiting now that it's traded above that, or now that it's traded the full float? Are you waiting for a particular level? Are you waiting for a breakout pullback? What's the process here once you actually get to that number?
I wonder if he's looking for one in the 160s. I see that we got as high as 130 earlier this week. So I think because of the formation here, it's the plan is to break 130 and go to the next level of resistance or the next EMA, and I have that at 163. So I mean, you tell me if that's the plan here, but.
Here, he said, MBIO, full float traded, then wait for a pullback to VWAP.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering what your upside goal was here.
So good stuff there, Tuna, on MBIO. And actually, if the full float has almost traded, maybe a pullback to VWAP might actually give you that. That volume stick in there looking pretty good. This is getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting close to either finding a bottom or rolling over and heading lower. And if it rolls over and heads lower, I think I'd probably look at 350 as the the area where it might slow down. Not that I'm going to, set up a trade for that or anything. I'm just kind of looking at this from a technical perspective.
AVTE back up to that spot here. 170, still the high point of the day. AVTE.
All right. I'm just looking through the list of other names. Wow, look at this. SRPT up to 170. So I would have shaved a portion of my position already if I was trading this.
Yeah, that was just a clear dip buy. That was not a breakdown either.
I mean, I was getting concerned about it breaking down since that was in territory where we didn't have any. It was like, gap fill territory. But it did recapture that when back above the let's call it 161 level. I think that's probably the big level that it needed to hold. And now we're trading up. So if you've captured that on the dip, you're doing really good.
Yeah, that was a really good dip buy.
181 is the high from yesterday, and in pre-market the high is 175.83. So 175.83 might be the next target you'll be looking at, I think.
Hollow did reclaim its VWAP here on Hollow.
Yeah, Jay Rice, I did hear about them getting a $5 meal rollout, and I thought that was kind of funny because that kind of compete with their Happy Meals, right?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday with Nick, didn't we? It was like a sandwich, nuggets and fries or something, but they didn't specify what sandwich it was.
Yeah, I know it's probably like that big around.
Yeah, it's probably just like a value one.
It's more of a biscuit than a sandwich. All right. Well, hey, guess what? Mini Me, it's still showing some signs of life.
Showing some signs that it's not ready to totally break down yet. It'd be amazing if I end up cleaning up this mess. That was just such a bad chase above the VWAP.
Caesar, I like Intel long term. Let me take a look and see where we're at right now. I've already started getting into this one down here. Look at the sideways consolidation in this thing. This has been a great area to if you're a bull on this for long term. It's been a great area to start a position in. Not to say that this couldn't go lower. I still think it might be able to, and if it does, I mean, I think if it goes down to 25, that's a screaming buy. Intel's got a good future, in my opinion, and I think that this weakness is something that should be picked up.
The last time we talked about Intel, when that dipped to 25, it was a double in less than a year for us. And so I'm with you on that spot again if we end up getting down there, no question.
And keep in mind, this is one of those companies that is capable of chip fabrication. They don't just design them.
Right. All right, let me actually bring that chart up here real quick, see where we're at on that. Okay, so Smoke Tuna. So the float's totally traded now. So Smoke Tuna is saying, watch the VWAP here on MBio. So let's see if we come back in. I have the VWAP at 71 cents, Smoke Tuna. I wonder if that's the same level that you have.
All right, Mini Me, what you got? Man, this has been awesome.
It's been a battle in this name for sure. Let's see what happens at that 450 spot. 440 has some size loaded on it now. 450 should still have the size from earlier, unless they walked that down. That size should still be there. We'll see if it's got the juice to get through it. I still don't see a lot of expanding volume on this. I did see a bid just get brought in at 434, which is nice to see. 440 still has size there, though. That's got to get taken first. They've hit it a few times and have really been unable to take it out on this move up.
Oh, there's a large number of bids that just came in. It's it should help lift the price higher.
Yeah, there's 440 down. Okay, so now we're starting to go here. Now 445's got the next bit of size there, and it's still that 450 level that we talked about on the first attempt here.
I think what I'll do is just raise my stop.
This level, Remember, this exact level is kind of where we stopped here before. So really this 449, 450 level, if that gets cleared out, you probably have your move. If not, we probably return to 4. They took one of those big bids out to the downside, by the way.
That's okay. I'm completely out of it now. I got
okay, nice
out.
job. Nice job. At least one of us played this one well.
I don't know that I would be reloading at 4. It just depends on what I think what will happen with this candle. We still have like over 3 minutes left in it, so it could still retake VWAP. If it does, that could indicate more upside. If it closes beneath VWAP, then I think I'll be much happier that I got stopped out of it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. M-Bio here, Smoke Tuna saying it'd be better to just get below the VWAP instead of tapping that VWAP. So maybe 70, 69 cents there, M-Bio.
If that's just for any stock.
Here we go on Mini-Me. Let's see if it tests that 450. It did go back green temporarily there. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that wasn't, hey, that's where you should have cleared your air out here. 445, they've reloaded that spot a few times. They're doing it again here. Size still at 450, at least still showing. It's really struggling to get above that 450 level. 445, 450, definitely some areas of resistance here. I've got that VWAP at what, 427, I think? 426. 424 in Thinkorswim. And here we go, down to the VWAP. That might be it.
Just to point it out, because I saw it come across my scanner, and I'm just going to address it before we start, getting it show up in the chat. SHCR is going to be acquired by Altiris for $143 per share. It is trading at $135 right now. Okay,
so not a trade there, you don't think?
I mean, if you want to do this thing where you buy the stock and hold it into the acquisition, you're going to make you're going to make 8 cents.
It didn't seem like a good trade at all.
So that's I'm just kind of putting it out there in case somebody gets excited about it. There's not much to be had there. But I don't think I need to say all that. We have so many talented people in this chat. We do have some new folks, and if they're questioning that, that's the reason why we're not touching it.
ARAB game on. Let's see what's going on in ARAB. Mini-Me looks like it's trying to lose the VWAP here. There's your move below the VWAP. We still see ARAB, excuse me, ARAB here, bouncing pretty good off that VWAP. See where M-Bio went. That was the other penny play flirt. But here we are. So we're at that. Let's see if we break beneath it. Some size here at 71 cents on that.
SRPT got as high as 72. Not done yet. Slow moving. The volume is starting to leave. So those the pre-market highs, there's a couple of them. I only gave you one. That was this 175.83. Another pre-market high is just 174 flat. Those could be potential resistance areas, because then with the volume starting to leave, it's going to be even less likely that it goes higher and higher. So don't be shy on paying yourself up. If you have a plan already on this and you already are planning on taking gains at certain levels, don't let me disrupt your plan. But if you're just trading this because we were talking about this morning, I think this is you should be taking profit in this on the way up at this point, I think.
SRPT, that after hours high from the print from yesterday, I have that at 181.30 on that high. So if this continues to grind up, that actually might be in play if we get above those pre-market highs. Just something to think about. M-Bio being mentioned by Smoke Tuna again. Looks like it did kind of bounce right off that VWAP. Didn't get the print beneath it. AREB, where's that one going here? That is at the highs. So nice bounce here off the VWAP. Nice little 14-cent bounce there, right back to the highs. Crow's calling $1 plus here on AREB. see, I don't see much on Twitter. Some NVIDIA mentions, but that's always to be expected here.
Zim fell under $20, trying to recapture that. So we haven't talked about that one yet, but that one had a wild day yesterday. So this pullback is to be expected.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, if it can hold 1950, I think that there might be some more upside in Zim, but I think that's the level we need to see hold. Yes, World Rank. It's basically a free 8 cents a share, provided that the deal goes through, which is to be expected. And they're acquiring it for 143, and it was at a price of 135. Yes, you'd be getting 8 cents a share. I don't know when that deal closes, but I think there's better ways to deploy capital than to just hold something that you're guaranteed a tiny gain in. I think you even do better if you just put it into like a high yield savings account. You probably end up doing better.
I would almost just say a dividend stock and just hold it for longer and let those dividend and then reinvest the dividends that you get. Especially, I mean, to me, I wouldn't.
If it was being acquired tomorrow, then I'd say, yeah, sure, go for it. Make 8 cents easy, or not tomorrow, but Monday. Go for it, make an easy 8 cents. But think about how you want to wrap up your money into something for the return on investment.
Yeah, and think about the opportunity cost of doing something else, right? Like there's probably a bunch of other stuff that you could do with those funds.
Yeah.
It could take a year for the buyout to close, says Webcoin. That's the thing. How long are you going to? I mean, and for 8 cents, I mean, there are other buyouts where it's at least several dollars. The difference obviously represents the odds that the deal doesn't go through, even if it is expected. Zim here flirting with 20 again.
Webcoin mentioning ACI.
Take a look here at ACI.
Is there news?
I don't see anything. Oh, you know what? He might be listing an example of a buyout or something like. Let me see. Albertsons. What were you referencing on this one? ACI was a buyout example. That's what I thought you were referencing. Okay. IWM 199.55. That might be trying to take 200. Dow is strong. Jay told us that the breadth in the Dow earlier today was quite good. I think, Jay, what did you say of it? Let me see. See what you said on that one. You gave us a reading earlier. 20 of the 30 names in the Dow are green.
Webcoin, do you remember what the buyout price for ACI was? You know what? I have Google. I can look at myself. Sorry.
You know what? I have Google. GRDI on the move. Yes, sir. GRDI, this has been a slow grinder higher. Good job on this one, guys. Community registering there for GRDI.
Okay, so Albertsons, I mean, it's already probably already being typed out by Webcoin, but Albertsons is in the process of being acquired by Kroger. Both companies already approved the transaction at the agreed upon price of $34.10, $6.85 of which has already been paid out to ACI shareholders as a dividend, leaving $27.25 as the remaining consideration. This stock is at $19.76. So there's a good that would probably be better to buy and hold. I don't know when they're going to close this deal because this is news I'm reading from August of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know when this gets closed. I'd have to look more into this, but it's trading at a discount right now, considering. So that might be a better one to get into and hold if that's what you'd like to do.
MINM really failed again there at the VWAP. We're back down to this 4 level here.
Yep, just on the verge of it, and it's looking like it could fall through. I'm not saying it will, but it's looking like it could.
It sure looks like it. I'm gonna tell you what, man. This was a big mistake. I haven't made one of these in a long time, but man, oh man. We chased on that move through the VWAP, and we are being punished.
Are you still in it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm down a good $150 on this. Not good, 13. Not good.
You have your stop out there?
No. I'm just gonna hit it because I don't want to get flushed and have it bounce. We've actually already seen this thing bounce quite a bit. So if we make a solid move under 4, just gonna
it
did
move
flush on.
You're right. It did flush out the $4 holders in the first 15 minutes of the market being open. So it could do that again if there's going to be any more upside. There could see another flush. Absolutely. Well, I hope this ends up working out. Look at AREB. This is good at pushing to $1.
If it doesn't, it's okay. I was just saying to somebody yesterday, you always learn more from the mistakes than you do from the wins. So.
How does the merger of Mini-Me with E2 affect the pricing? Well, it just depends on what the agreed upon buyout price is. You'd have to look and read what the agreement is. I don't know what the buyout price is for Mini-Me if that's what's happening.
CNBC showing the Ferrari electric car manufacturing facility. I don't know if I could tell you if there's a Ferrari I thought that didn't look good. They all look good. AREB here, the ones that you guys were talking about, this pop into some new highs here. Crow's call was for $1. We are not far from that.
I've always liked the way the Testarossa looked.
Yeah, that was a classic one. That was the one that people used to cut up those Pontiac Fieros and make kit Testarossa cars out of, right? I'm pretty sure.
Probably they just had like a kit they put on their doors and their trim.
No, they actually like chop the frame and extend the car slightly and then use either copy or actual Ferrari parts to fit the dimensions. That was never chopping up a frame and a body was never something I was into.
Yeah, it's a lot of work and it can be dangerous. An all stock transaction. So what will happen is the company that's doing the acquiring will give you equal value of their shares to the holders of MBio. That's how it works. And that's, I mean, you have to, again, read the agreement that they have, but typically that's what happens when an all stock transaction happens. Is the holders of the company that's being acquired is going to get shares of the company that's doing the acquiring for equal value. Excellent, Jay's Life. Let's see, that was Brian Shannon that sent out the books, right? The VWAP, Anchored VWAP book.
Yeah. Did you get yours, Jay?
Jay's Life got it. He's going to read it.
Okay, I gotta go check it. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I was a little bit lazy. I didn't even check my mail yesterday. I'll do that here today. See if I got mine as well. AREB still pushing highs. Does anyone see anything else really great? I don't.
Yeah, I just have my watch list here, and nothing from previous days looks really good. I mean, Bitcoin is breaking down. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and see if I can find the next level here for Bitcoin.
How did the miners? Remember that the miners were doing all right. How have they been doing? Okay, they're not really doing much here today. Yeah,
because they're going to be.
It's lower.
Their whole cash position revolves around the value of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin has a support level at 62,000. So we're a little ways away from there. It's probably going to end up being trading between this channel of 62 and 65 for a little bit. That's what I'm seeing right now, 65 and 62, folks. If I think that could be absolutely true, Jonathan Cooper. If AREB gets above $1, we'll have halts because, sometimes you'll see a lot of shorts pile in to a stock that when it goes under $1. So I think that the opposite could happen. You see that squeezing them getting squeezed out once we trade above $1. I could see that happening, absolutely. Bitcoin's recent weakness signals an imminent S&P 500 correction, according to Stifel. I welcome it.
We've been waiting for that for how long? 13. We'll take that all day.
Yeah, and it's good that that's expected to happen. We need to see this market correct, and if we want to see it go higher.
Elon, hey Ryan, NEP, one of Tim's picks, is on the move at a potential buy point. So NEP, when we talked about this when we had him on, this actually came in. If you take a look at the daily chart, this really came in. I was able to add down here in the 27 handle, so looking pretty good here on NEP. Remember, this is a dividend play, so we're going to hold this for a considerable amount of time.
The Bitcoin was meaningless. I don't personally like cryptocurrency, but it is giving us some trades.
Yeah, no question. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's meaningless.
Yeah, it's providing trades, and that's really where the meaning is, I think. A trend follower. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think so much was being made of Bitcoin being, like an alternate to gold and this and that. I don't know if I buy into all of that stuff. The technology and a potential future is one thing, but saying that it's all these other things, I generally kind of stay away from that, which is also why the strategy for me is to just hodl, right? I'm not trying to go back and forth on all this stuff. I think I was going to say something else other than NEP. Let me see. Something. Lynn, made bank on NVDL, out for the day on that one. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and go Oilers. I'm really looking forward to that game here tonight. Yeah, so Tom, this is a really good point. And actually, this is something that Happy Hour has discussed as well. We're kind of split. The Happy Hour crowd's kind of split. Some of them do kind of like or believe in Bitcoin. Others just don't want anything to do with it. But even in the case of the ones that don't want anything to do with it, they recognize that when Bitcoin goes through buying trends, that absolutely represents a speculative sentiment. And so a lot of the times they'll see if a lot of the Bitcoin names are getting bought or if Bitcoin really is in a strong trend to the upside, we'll talk about potentially risk being on and things like that. So I'm with you on this one, Tom. I think I said Tom. I meant Tom Tran. I apologize.
And we can argue all day and all night about if Bitcoin has any value or not, or this and that. At the end of the day, what really matters is that there are people on both sides of this argument that are willing to give this asset volatility and movement, and that sets up trades for us. So I'm perfectly fine just doing that. I'm not really interested in being a holder of Bitcoin, and if I do, it's going to be through their ETFs.
See what else did we miss here?
So as long as there's people on both sides, that makes me happy. That makes me want to trade it.
I don't think we caught up on everything. Okay.
GRDI that popped to 147.
This was a great one. This was the move. This was the easy one to hold all day. FLYE, is that a new one here? I'm sure I'm familiar with what this is.
Well, I wonder if it has something to do with aerospace, and if it doesn't, that's silly. It is an electric vehicle company that is principally engaged in designing, installing, and selling smart electric motorcycles, electric bikes, electric scooters, and related accessories under the Fly e-bike brand. They also provide connectivity solutions and value-added services to their customers. Where is this company from? I'm curious. I have a suspicion. Mini me still not breaking down beneath 4.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's the one thing that's kind of got this really hasn't lost 4 yet. Now at presently, let's not get too excited because presently we're trapped under that VWAP. So until we can actually bust above it, I'm not ready to, get all excited about this, but definitely positive that it hasn't snapped forward to the downside yet. Yet, I say. FMC having a good day. I know Lion Atlas is happy about that. We all are. FMC, nice little trade up here. 2 points on the day. Hello, Oscar. Good to see you. Clove. That was one that was on our list from this morning. That pulled back to VWAP here. See if that actually moves higher.
Well, it's a little concerning to me with Fly. I'm on their homepage, and every time I click About Us, nothing happens. I guess they say, buyer of bikes, don't ask us what we do or who we are. Okay. Oh, it doesn't seem like anything really works on this site. Well, maybe that's just me. Tom Tran mentioning Hertz.
HTZ, been a while there on HTZ, huh?
Oh, did Tom Brady finally give this stock life?
Tom Brady is a Hertz deal?
Well, it's funny.
Comp G14 classified. Oh man, Rush Hour 2, dude. Rush Hour 2, underrated movie. The fact that Comp is quoting G14 classified right here, this is making my day. I honestly, great call on that. Oh man, it's been years since I've seen Rush Hour 2. That is a nicely done. Nicely done. So it's just to get back. I'm sorry I got distracted there. But, Tom Brady, does he have a deal with Hertz or somebody? He's
been doing their commercials for a while now.
Oh,
they're kind of cringy.
Tell you what, Tom Brady right now is practicing for his NFL announcing gig coming up. He's been on Colin. He's practicing NFL games. He's going to be good. He's going to be good on TV.
Hertz announces upsize and pricing of $1 billion offerings. That's where we're moving here. Guess they need money. Also heavily shorted, 28.4% float shorted, and 5.85 days to cover. So we are seeing a little bit of a squeeze, and it could keep going.
On which one? Sorry?
This is Hertz, HTZ.
HTZ, the one I got up. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Use BITO for a nice dividend. Yeah.
Gregory, good to see you again. Interesting. That might be something to start adding then.
That's what I would be doing with that.
Yeah.
Because I don't hold any Bitcoin, but I'd want to do the ETFs.
Yeah, good mention here, Gregory. Appreciate that. MBio here, by the way, above the VWAP. This actually might be gearing here, 74 cents. Smoke Tuna, just masterful with the call earlier. Remember, we were talking about this trading its float, coming back into the VWAP, excuse me. And you had mentioned specifically might be a better entry to actually wait for it to dip beneath the VWAP. Well, look at this. VWAP was at what, 72 cents? This thing dipped to 68 cents. That was exactly right. And oh my goodness, mini-me, I'm out of that one. That is an absolute disaster. I made a humongous mess here, folks, on a Friday with that trade. Bad news. It's just the way it goes sometimes. I got no one to blame but myself for that trade. That was awful.
Well, at least you're done with that though, right? You're out.
I'm done with it. Okay. We are done.
All right. Well, at least you limited the downside and you're not holding it like, some people may have with Cavill, because we're getting a mention here by Jonathan Cooper about how it had an offering today. And holy crap, this thing is down almost 50%. I think it was
down a whole
50%.
buck.
Yeah, it was down over 50% earlier. So this is just why you don't hold these, folks. Because
I'll tell you what, though, this actually bounced a little bit off that low print, and maybe mini me will do it. But like I said, I'm just that This is really, really disappointing. Just such a poor job on the entry. That's what caused that one.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cavill went under $1.
I mean, it's using the VWAP as resistance right now, so maybe that'll roll over.
It looks like it's starting to roll over. I think I'm looking at a 5-minute chart. It just looks like this is going to come back down to the area where it found support at about 136. And if it does get down there, I don't think it's going to hold up.
Christoph, love this. Take it out on the golf course. So a couple of things about that. So number one, when I have a trade that is 100% my fault for butchering, I generally tend not to get mad. I mean, I'm disappointed that I just lost money here in this prop account, which kind of sucks. But I'm not like mad because it was just me. It's something that I can kind of think about and correct. Now, the golf part of this, let me tell you something. Going to a golf course angry, Jay, I'd love to get your opinion on this. Going to a golf course angry doesn't work for me. I am not able to concentrate. So I'm always trying to calm myself down, think about something else. But at the end of the trip, man, nothing seems to bother me.
That's what batting cages are for.
Yeah.
Knock the hell out of those balls.
No comment. AREB still up near the highs there at about 90 cents.
Elon, yeah, it's slowly creeping back up. Because I don't think we've fully seen the benefit from all the 5G investment in these communication names that were investing in them. So you got Verizon, you got T-Mobile, which is TMUS, and you got AT&T that have been spending billions on getting 5G rolled out, and they were investing in their the frequencies that they need in order to be able to have their service. So I think eventually those will be good again, and the dividends will definitely be attractive once rate cuts start happening. That's absolutely certain for me. Mini-Me still trying to get back in that 4 handle. I don't know why I have it on my screen. I think this is probably end up going to go lower, but not a whole lot to look at right now.
Nope. FLYE on the move. Is it flying?
Is it flying?
Don't really see a whole lot flying. Even my day trader friends seem to have taken a bit of a break. Amazon kind of stopped. That Bitcoin bounce that we were talking about kind of stopped. Costco found support at 855, 857.
Well, Oppenheimer raising their price target in Nike from 110 to 120. So that could help lift it a bit here. Watch the full float to be traded. I see you. Where is that with the float?
662. Oh, you mean the how much of the float? Sorry.
So the float is 2.8 million, and the volume is 500,000. So you're just waiting for that, that other 75%, before you start trading. Is that the plan here? Because I don't know. It's that whole float being traded might not happen until the afternoon at this rate.
Lynn saying, looking at NVDS. Looking to play NVIDIA. Sure. How's NVIDIA holding up here?
Mini-Me back above 4.
SRPT 171 plus. Boy, everything I did today was incorrect. 13. It's just one of them days.
This is how we learn. Sometimes I've made a lot of mistakes too, and had to learn the hard way in a lot of trades.
I may actually try. I might try rearranging my screen here. It is extremely difficult to flip around to all of the other stocks and then focus on the stock that you're trying to trade. I totally underestimated how hard that was. Totally underestimated how hard that was. So I might have to make an adjustment here.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and hopefully Office Assistant will tell you where everything should go.
Office Assistant?
Your cat.
Oh, dude, that wouldn't. No. Nope. No, I just need to be able to, like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I need to be able to present the stock that we're talking about and then still focus on another window on the trade. And I flip around way too much. I'm in and out of too many different things. I get levels mixed up. I create FOMO for myself, which is exactly what I did today. And all of that's avoidable. That's just all avoidable. It's all on me. There's literally nobody else's fault but my own. So I'll see what I can do. Swing account's going good. So that works. Oh man, bless holding stocks that pay dividends too. Let me tell you.
Hey, Funky Cold, you're not alone. It has been slow. The morning was fun, but it's kind of chilled out here. And Elon, I see your comment here about Boeing. What time frame are you looking at for an inverse head and shoulders? I think I see what you're talking about on the daily, but tell me the time frame you're looking at so I can just be sure.
Hab Talem. I have 4 screens, but I only show one for the broker here.
What's going on with RECT? Oh God, I'm gonna have so many jokes about this one if it's going down.
I was gonna say, first of all, is this an IPO?
I don't see any price action prior to today, so it must be.
Yeah, it looks like this isn't halted, is it? It's just got no bid. Yeah, it is. Sorry, this is halted, and this does look like an IPO.
I don't even know what this company does. Let's see here. Provision of safety equipment encompassing essential items such as personal PPE. Okay, so this is a little late to the party. I think this would have been much better 4 years ago.
What was this for again? Say again.
This is RECT. It's involved in the provision of safety equipment encompassing essential items such as personal protective clothing, hand gloves, safety footwear, personal fall arrest systems.
PPE, yeah. Personal protective equipment.
And
that might, this might be one of the stocks to add to your watch list for things like Lake and APT and some of those other smaller stocks that end up moving when we get headlines about these different diseases. We do have an election coming up too, so I'm expecting a lot of shenanigans with the news cycle.
Well, they did have an $8 million pricing IPO of 2 million shares at $4 a share, and it's now trading at $3.60. So this thing is going in circles. But I don't know where the bottom is in this one. I don't even know. There's no indication of what their balance sheet is or what their earnings are. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know anything about this company. But with a ticker like RECT, I'm sure it's going to get a lot of the meme crowd coming in saying, "Oh yeah, this stock got wrecked." So we'll see. It could get wrecked for a little bit, to be honest. Proctology equipment.
Oh God, you guys
are funny.
ICU pushing to the highs.
I'm not pushing to the highs. Oh, the stock.
Well done.
Bad joke.
I put in 2 different tickers into the same field. No wonder it didn't change the ticker.
That'd be cool.
IBRX, Smoke Tuna called this one earlier. This actually moved higher here. IBRX has an intraday high from yesterday that might be in play if this continues to curl. I got that at 735. We're currently at 704. Wrecked is open now and getting wrecked as it's moving down towards 330 here. I see nothing but red. All the price candles, all the volume candles here are red.
All right.
Don't forget, folks, we got Anne-Marie coming up in 10 minutes. I did talk to her today, so we're confirmed to be good. In fact, 13, let me step away real quick before
Sure.
she shows up.
Medical toolkit. Are these all like health names that you're looking at, or what's the plan here? I mean, these are these all the ones that are down? Tell me what's going on with the names you're providing us here, if you could, please. IBRX could be a swing. Let's see. Well, it's certainly looking like it's going to try to go up to 740 again. We got through 7 just a moment ago. Let's see if it can hold 7. We'll start there. If it can hold 7, then I think 740 is going to be next. Leopold talking about AI clusters going from 1 billion to 100 billion. Yeah. So if I don't know that we'll see that right away, Jonathan Cooper, I think that we're going to need that might be something that plays out over a period of time, like a year or 2 years or a number of years. But if that's the case and you're bullish on NVIDIA, then I would be wanting to kind of see where NVIDIA is going to pull back to, and have a plan to go long NVIDIA when we get a meaningful pullback. If that's the plan that you're basing your trading on, with the clusters rising in value like that. I'm getting a mention from Jay's Lab about EXAS. I'm going to take a look at that, Ryan.
Exact Sciences at holding higher here. Yeah, I am starting to see some curls out there. IWM kind of leading the way. Habtalem mentioning here that the NASDAQ's doing the same thing. Here are your cues here real quick. Does look like we're trying to curl back up. I wonder if it's going to go anywhere, if it's got any juice to really keep moving. SPY's kind of doing the same thing here, by the way. Gregory mentioned SMCI coming up off the bottom. NVIDIA, that's still kind of holding lower here.
Just so with EXAS, that is a much larger float than I'd like to see in order to get some quick moves in this. So I don't think this is going to be quick moving at all. We did get some pretty nice volume in the morning. I only see that there's a headline here about cancer screening stocks, which I assume that's what this is encompasses here. Really quick here. Ben saying, hi, first time here. Welcome, Ben. Hopefully you enjoy yourself here. Looking at Tesla. Tesla came up and now going to test the VWAP again. I'm not sure what broker you have there, Ben. I actually have VWAP here and trade the pool at 182.28. We did actually take that out. Now, we were rejected at the intraday high here from today. So we actually have an intraday double top. The good news here is that this volume is continuing to expand here on Tesla. Wouldn't be shocked if this gets taken out, but this would be the next move I'd be looking for here. A breakout of this upside intraday high, or excuse me, breakout of the intraday high here. That's not pulling back yet, and it already took that VWAP out. Volume looking good here. Yeah, VWAP would be the...
Take care of yourself, Jane. Have a great weekend. Sorry, 13.
No worries. Take care, Jane. Yeah, VWAP would be a support area at this particular point. And if $183.50, if that does not get taken out here, then that's going to be a level I'd be watching for in Tesla.
Apple here actually moving back towards the pre-market highs as well. Oh no, Ben. Actually, even in my two brokers, I got Thinkorswim for my main account, and I'm using Trade the Pool for the prop account. That's what you see here on the screen. Even between just those two brokers, I often have different VWAPs. So totally understand how those can be different. There, it's just as soon as I pulled that up, I noticed that it did actually take that out here. Now that intraday high, though, that's going to be more of a key area. I think we'll see if we get there. The IWM continues to trade up here. IWM green by about 10 cents.
Oh, she hanging in there.
SMR. SMR did a red-green move. Dip getting bought here as well. GOSS appearing on my scanner. It's a penny stock that looks like that's holding near the highs. Big on the scanner. Big lots. That's a nice little move here today.
I think that's still squeezing, isn't it? Should be. Short interest, 23%. Days to cover, 6. I think it's squeezing still. This thing goes through periods of squeezes because it's always shorted.
NXL, I think, Tuna, you called this one earlier, didn't you? NXL actually looks like this might break out here. We're pounding those intraday highs right now from today. NXL. A little bit of size there at 138.
Every time I keep looking for something, I always end up coming back up to the previous ones that we were just talking about this morning. I don't see anything. What was the one we were talking about earlier? Hold on a second.
Caesar saying VIX is quiet, could be an uneventful rest of the day, range bound. I would not personally. I wouldn't be surprised if this Friday finishes off kind of slow. As far as the VIX goes, I think we really want to see a breakout above 14 on that to really kind of get some. But the happy hour I discussed really 11 to that 14 range, kind of being part of the chop zone here. NXL did bust those highs there as we were talking right here. Wonderful call from this morning. NXL new highs here. Let's see if we get the pre-market highs from yesterday. I've got that at 144. We're right there.
SRPT now coming back down. VWAP is where it could bounce, or at least for the moment temporarily get caught. Yeah, so it got a little bit higher than 170. It got as high as 172 and 24 cents. I still think that 170 was probably if you were trading this, was probably the better area to unload most of these. You got a little bit more after that. Didn't quite get back up to the pre-market highs or the high from yesterday. Day's still long. It could get a bounce at VWAP and come back up, but I think for the moment this is going to start rolling over, and you'd have to wait for the next trade to set up. That's my opinion on this one now. Tesla could not get over that pre-market, that regular session high. Got kind of, well, this may be slightly higher, but there's a bit of resistance at 184, it seems. And now the stock has turned around. I think
it might be time to watch that VWAP level again here.
There you go. There you go. On strangest daily chart, I will look at a strange daily chart for you.
Yeah, the daily chart here that I have is not great to see. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Here is your daily.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing go ahead.
Looks like it just pulled back to this 38.50 level, which was a previous resistance spot, and it's trying to bounce off that.
Yeah, I mean, if we end up with a candle looking like this, I'd be bullish. Look, it'd be pretty good reversal candle, a dragonfly doji there. Now, if you know it's still early in the day, so this is not how it could end up closing. But for the moment, it looks pretty good. But we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the day. All right. Well, don't know what to make of Mini-Me, just hanging out at $4.
There's nothing much to make about that. It is 11 o'clock here, so you know what that means. It is time for Anne-Marie 13. Good week. You did a really, really good job today. Your shoulders are wide, and you carried the show for us today. So hopefully you have a great weekend. We'll be right back at this on Monday. Any closing words for the group here?
Oh, you guys have been great this week. Had a really good day with you all today, and I'm going to take my wild hair and I'm going to go have a weekend. So take care, everybody. Have a good one.
All right. Take care, 13. Thanks for everything. 13 is out. That leaves room for Anne-Marie. Hi, Anne-Marie, how are you doing here today?
It's been an interesting morning. So yeah, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Okay.
How about you?
I'll be honest. My swing account doing all right here today, but Anne-Marie, I created an absolute mess this morning on some of these day trades. I just didn't do a good job. And as I was just explaining to the group, it was entirely my fault. I chased for the first time in a while on a day trade that I just shouldn't have. So kind of a rough morning in the day trade segment here, but doing okay in the main account. So no harm, no foul. We just look to get to the weekend and we'll correct some of those mistakes on Monday. I am curious to see what you're looking for. And we did have a request from one of the viewers earlier here today. So I don't know if you had stocks planned. I do have a list here of about 5 that we can roll through if you'd like.
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to throw your chart up here?
Sure.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and read you the comment here. Ryan, I got to leave before Anne-Marie comes on. By the way, I did tell him to join Pro where you're available all the time. I would like to ask her about butterflies for NVIDIA, SMCI, Snow, Amazon, and Apple.
Okay. Snow, SMCI, Amazon, and NVIDIA.
Yeah, NVIDIA, SMCI, Snow, Amazon, Apple. I'll hold this up here just in case we need to reference it. No big deal, but that was some of the requests this morning.
Okay. Sounds like a good group. Beforehand though, I want to show you one thing that I'm looking at, and it's Gilead. All right,
okay, we actually talked a little bit about that this morning. So let's break down Gilead, ticker GILD.
Okay, so first of all, one of the things that I like to look at that measure internal strength is the TRIN. And when the TRIN is above 1, things are a little bearish. And so the TRIN is like about 1.3, something like that. And so this tells us we've got a little bit of a bearish undercurrent. But the reason I think a lot of people are looking at Gilead is because it had some pretty good news that came out, and it bounced and closed right up over its 50 simple moving average. And so when it does something like that, and you start looking at it, the big thing to see is, hey, what do the wicks look like, and what do the long-term formations look like? And you can see right at around this 60-ish area, we've got ourselves a support leg.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question is, what do we normally do with a stock in a decline that all of a sudden takes off and gives us a big bounce? We short the tops, right? And so let's say that it's got a big run on it, so we can make money to the upside, but in the end, the price action will collapse. We can use a butterfly where the middle strike is where we think it'll come back to, which is, maybe 70-ish. If it goes all the way up to this edge at about 75 and pulls back. And so that would mean we would take a butterfly that was in the money. So we would push it way far out in the future, so it would be very cheap. And so what I want to do is give love to the audience first and then knock through these. And if we have time, we'll set up the trade in Gilead. Otherwise, I'll put it on the list for Tuesday when we meet.
Okay.
All right. Okay. But just throwing that idea out because the trend is down. So we expect it needs to rotate before it moves up. So that would be it. All right. Let's take a look at Snow first.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. So the question might be, what are we thinking is going to happen to snow based on the weekly formation. Now, why am I looking at the weekly? Because for a butterfly to pay off for us when we're very close to prices that might hold support or might be resistance, the further off it is, the cheaper it is, because there's more volatility and uncertainty about where price will end up. And so if we take a look at snow, we could see, you know, if it doesn't hold 110, there's a problem. And so that's going to be that key event, right? 110. It needs to hold 110 because that's the low from 2022, right? And so that's pretty wide. All right. Now, if it begins to recover, what is the trend? It's down. So if it bounces in a downtrend, it is likely to fade a little bit and at least retest old resistance as support. And so that number to the upside looks potentially like 150. Right?
Yeah, numbers. Yes, numbers are tough. Sorry, numbers are very tough to see on Thinkorswim, but yeah, that's about right.
Sorry, let me
okay.
change that. Let me change that. I totally forgot. Please forgive me.
No, it's quite all
right. Small, very large. Now we'll get to see the settings, and they'll be
there. We go.
Very nice for us. All right. So now we go here. Let's go to the Analyze tab. And we're looking at snow. And so let's look at the prices in August first. Okay. So we can do two things. Yeah.
So let me stop you right there, because we actually did get a question here from Gladys. Ryan, please ask Anne-Marie to speak to her days till expiration selection with the butterflies. So you had said, let's start with August. Can you talk a little bit about why you're looking into that chain?
Okay, so the reason I'm looking at August is because July will be very expensive if we try to position on both sides. Here's what I'm saying. So let's go to July. So we'll just check it out and you'll see this. I think that's actually a fantastic question. And so let's say we go to the 110, 100, 90 butterfly for July for the downside, and then maybe the 150, 160, 170 for the call side. So what this does is give us 28 days. These options look very, very cheap, right? 44 and 16. They do. They look very cheap. But the probability of them coming into play anticipates the following: that one, in the next 4 weeks, these are weekly candlesticks, in the next 4 weeks, price action is going to either reverse or collapse in those 4 weeks into our spaces. Now, because this is summertime, that actually might not be a bad choice, but it gives us a limited framework in terms of either it works or it doesn't, and we're probably looking at 100% loss, right? So we might look at it and go, well, come on, Anne-Marie, if it's 100% loss and I'm only taking, let's say it's 55 cents of risk altogether, then $55 versus 1,000, I think I might try that.
Yeah.
That works. Just watch your size. What a lot of us have a tendency to do is just go crazy because the butterflies get very cheap and we go, oh man, I'm going to buy 10 of these because I'm going to be, I want to put a down payment on a boat or whatever. Right? And so what I try to do is err on the side of being conservative. Now,
Okay.
true to form, I love it that this person asked me this question. Notice that in 4 weeks, this chart literally went from 150, to where it's sitting right now, which is, 120. So it's $30, right? So if we anticipate that this might be a continuation of motion, we're going to be in Fat City. It's either going to fade or it's going to reverse. However, what if it sits like this one? And look what it does. Side, 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 side. That's 2.5 months of sideways action before the move comes. And because this is a space that has had a lot of bouncing, my thought is, why don't we give it a little time? We give it a little time to decide where it's going,
Okay.
and then it moves and we get our motion. And so the flip side is, well, let me do both, right? So maybe you do, let's see how much more expensive this one is. 140 to 1. These are not, the vol is not bad here at all. Okay, so maybe it's $1 you're spending and it's still $9 to the upside, right? So that looks great. You can do that. However, if we look at it and we go, let me take a snapshot of this just in case.
Okay. Gladys, let me know if this is helpful, if this is answering your question.
Yes, that would be very good. All right, so if we do this and we go, all right, I'm just giving it 30 days and I'm going to do 140, 150. So the 50 is the mid strike, and either of them are much more likely to have a good outcome. Now let's flip this to August.
Okay.
It's more expensive because there's an earnings event. No?
Well, it's more expensive purely because you have time. Let me check on the actual earnings for you. I'll get you that exact date here. One sec.
Time should actually decrease when we're using these kinds of spreads. So something's happening in August that.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
August. So August 21st, earnings are projected. Now, the company hasn't confirmed that, but the projected date is in fact August 21.
Okay, so this would be before the earnings event, and then this would be after the earnings event. So, that's really very interesting. I think that if we're taking a risk at, wow, there's going to be some kind of big move, especially if August and July get to be very messy, this is not bad. I'm surprised at the pricing. So yeah, not bad. So we'll stick with that one.
So just to kind of recap this, when you're selecting these strikes, it seems like you use a combination of the chart and what you think the stock is capable of doing, as well as the pricing that you're getting in the different months. So it looks like it's a combination of those two things.
Correct.
There you go, Gladys.
Yeah. So I really start with the chart and then say, all right, what do we got? We still making lower highs and lower lows? Well, 110 seems pretty fair. It's either going to bounce off of that number and we'll move some other place, or, we're going to have a collapse down underneath into 100. So that easily could be on the horizon. Okay, next we'll do SMCI.
Perfect.
So this one also looks really very sideways. It looks a lot better than, NVIDIA's chart today, but in terms of motion, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks in a range. So my suspicion is something's really coming here. I believe, yeah, I've got these already set up for the traders. And the move I've got separated out by months, but let's see how expensive this one in July would be if we had some kind of really very big move, right? So, whoa, $4. Oh, because it's very close. All right, so let's make that one. Let's go look at the resistance zones. 970, 1125. All right, so let's do 1120 instead of 1020. 1120 to 1220 to 1320. Still really expensive. So the July one, take a look at what happens. Let's move this to August. Option traders are pricing in massive volatility events into these later months.
Now, could this be because you said it looked like the chart was kind of compressing and showing that we're going to get a move in one of these directions?
Yes.
Well,
here, every single chain that I look at shows these sorts of outsized price motions for big movement. They're just pricing in a lot of volatility. And so take a look. You can see as it moves what should be happening. And it could be spreads too, the size of the spreads. This is still, I mean, these are expensive, right? These are expensive options.
Yeah.
And so the implied volatility is also high, but this is very interesting. Let's say, let's do it by size. This one I have at 600, big fade into, that's a $300 move into collapse. So that's got to move really fast or this is going to erode to zero. For this one, we could start with the 1200 because it's at the top. And that puts us about $300 away. So let's see if that matters. And that's only $30 wide. So let's make this one $50 wide, not traded.
That's
right.
30. Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah, let's go to August here and see if they've got 1230. If we made it only $10 wide, that would not be enough of a move. So we have 1250 and then 1300. Oh, that's a credit because it gives us $30 to the upside and $50 to the downside. But that is a sweet trade right there for August. Let's see what this one is for August. 80 cents. So it's 2.5 times the amount. And this is annoying me just a wee bit. So forgive my OCD-ness here. Look and feel. I want to go to large.
Yeah, it looks like it's cutting it off in the box there.
Exactly.
I understand that totally.
Okay, so there we are.
That's still doable, and I can read these out if anyone needs me to, so no big deal.
Yeah, so for August, now why am I using 600? Well, here's the thing. If we move to the breakaway formation, 600 is really a round number that moves dramatically to the upside here. And this is also a 38.2, or maybe it's a 41.4. Let me see what it is. 0.414. That Fibonacci number gave me the three. No, it is great. That's fantastic. It is the, I don't know why I took that. It is that 61.8 gives us right at around that 600 number.
Yep.
And if it fades, it's going to be a very nice trade. Has the chart been able to move in those kinds of directions? You betcha. In 1 week, this thing moved from 745 all the way to $1,000. So it can definitely move. And so that is a fair trade right there. I don't see it going to 1,300. I like this August one, and you can see the price actions moving all over the place. So
Yep.
you could actually put it in the queue for maybe 60 cents. See if it fills. You
So
can
be
leave it in there for
patient,
till
throw up a
cancel.
good till
Yeah.
cancel order at about 60 and see if you get it.
Yeah, for both of these, the credit, I'd say get 150. Now, here's the beautiful thing about a credit when you're buying a butterfly. If you are long a butterfly and you get a credit, what that tells you is as long as your price action does not get more than $30 over $12.50, meaning it could go all the way to $12.80, you will still make money. Getting a credit on a long butterfly is absolutely sweet. So I'm going to be hunting that one down. I don't think it's going to get up into that range, certainly before August.
Okay.
All right, let's look at Amazon. Amazon's another one that, it hasn't been flying high. It's been sitting really in a sideways space for quite a while. And so the question is, how much longer will it move sideways before it breaks? And when it breaks, what's the measure of the move? And so the range that I'm seeing is 171 to 191. So that's $20. That's going to be the first area of the measured move up. So the middle strike at the minimum, if this thing rockets out, is 220 on the high side and then 150 on the low side. So what is this average? A 50. Okay, so this is my 50 simple moving average. It's sitting around 157. The number 150 looks like a pretty good congestion zone, right? Particularly around here and way back here. So our middle strikes should put us in that range. So let's go have a look. And let's go to July 1st. Let's say it's going to be one of those amazing things, and 187. So maybe since 150, let's choose. Let's choose 175 to 165 to 155 for the July butterfly.
Okay.
And then let's do 195. That's going to be expensive. No, let's do 195 to 205 to 215. All right, so one of them is, again, $10 wide, expecting a big move out, right? Now we're at 187. And so that's to 195. That's only $8 here. Also, that's $12. So that's why this one's a little bit cheaper. But that would be what we would look at for July. So let me take a snapshot of that, and then let's go hunting. I see that we've got only 4 minutes left.
Actually, in the last time that we put on an Amazon butterfly, I actually followed that butterfly. We made some good money on that one.
Yes.
I'd be curious to do this again.
So here's July. Now let's flip the script to August. And wow, the one in August is only a couple of pennies more expensive on the call side, but a fair bit more expensive on the put side. So because we see 150 is the place that it could go over time when it breaks out on that measured move, we might be better off choosing the 160 to 150 to 140. And then this one, we would leave, 210 to 220 is where we think that one would go. So if we went long with this one and went 210, 220, 230, this would give us that measured move expectation, but then we would be giving the chart how much more time? 58 days or something? 56 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one I like a little better because it's right in the sweet spot of the measured move. And so I like this one very much.
Okay.
Because it converges with the measured moves of getting out of that range that this chart has been in for so long. And we can get in for less than $1 or a little bit more than $1 total.
Yeah, that doesn't look that expensive at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is 11:29. Do we want to save the others for?
Yeah, I think we should. One of the things that I'm always a fan of saying here, Anne-Marie, if people want to get more of your content, they should just join Pro and go into the chat room. You could probably get that here today. So another reminder, if you want to see more of Anne-Marie, how she constructs these trades, and even if you want to ask her some follow-up questions on it, go ahead and join Benzinga Pro. We do offer a free 2-week trial as well. So, Anne-Marie, I still think we crammed quite a bit into this session here today. So,
we sure did.
Yeah, looking pretty good. We're gonna have Zunaid come on here pretty soon. And
what?
What's going on? How are you, Anne-Marie?
I tell you, I don't know if I've told you this before, but every time I see your Made in India, it makes me smile. I absolutely love that.
I love it.
Absolutely love that.
That's right, because you actually, we talked about this. You've been to India more than I have.
More places. You've never been to India? Yeah, more places.
Yeah. No, I tell people all the time, like, where were you born? I was like, Oregon. No, but I was born in India. Then I moved here about 25 years ago, give or take. But yeah, always a pleasure having you on, though.
Same. Love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Awesome.
Thanks, Anne-Marie.
We've got some things cooking up. We'll reach out to you here in about a week or so.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. See you later, buddy.
Take care, Zunaid.
Oh, you're golfing.
Well, later.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, not now. It's work hours. Don't do that. All right. All right, chat, we'll go ahead and continue with the options trading information. Of course, now we're going to go ahead. See, every time I do this, I need to just have, there's like an overlay aspect to it, and then there's a non-overlay aspect to it. And I always mess them up. I need someone to help me out. But for now, Sandra, give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready. How are you? Good morning.
I'm good. How are you doing?
All right, I'm doing great.
You doing some traveling?
I am doing some traveling, yes. And thankfully, I got my collared shirt because we've got an interview coming up after we get done here. But I know you've got your screen up as well. I'm actually going to go ahead and get ready for this interview. The show's kind of all yours.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and put you up here, yeah? All you have anything, just yell my name. I promise I'll hear you.
All right. So that sounds great.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Hey, are you going to do my intro? You know, I really like that intro. No intro.
Welcome back, traders. This is Sandra with Trading Made Simple. I'm here to show you short-term proven strategies. People think trading is a one-size-fit-all market. It's not. We live trade and train daily. Let's talk trading.
All right, guys, let's talk trading. How are you guys doing out there? Well, Benzinga Live. Send me some charts. What would you like to see? What would you like to talk about? Some day trades, some swing trades? Anybody have any suggestions out there? I notice XOM popped up on the screen as a comment. You know, a lot of flow coming into XOM, and it could be because of that news right there. That is a cool kind of intro. I know, I just love it. It always makes me smile. So let's take a look at some charts. Right now, I'm just got SPX up here. We actually earlier did a gap fill. So we gapped down. You could see this gap finder right here is identifying that gap. We just recently did the fill, and I call this either a gap and go or a gap and crap. And it looks like we're doing a gap and crap, which is, hey, we were going bearish. We ended up filling the gap, and now we're reversing back towards the direction that we were going. And so you could see our last pivot low right here at 54.55, and our last pivot high up here at about 54.85. And this little area has been consolidation for SPX since we opened up. Now, you can see the momentum is sliding past the zero line. This wave indicator is modeled after CCI, so you can get this free, by the way, on Thinkorswim to identify momentum. And it's an old school indicator that I love using, but it's very specific to, hey, you know, what's price doing right now? I typically day trade on a 5-minute chart so that I can really kind of sense when we have like fake outs, as an example, confirmation to me at a trigger zone, whether it be support or resistance, is typically a 5-minute candle outside of that area. So clearly, as you know, this is touching, doesn't clear it. The next candle is touching, it's laying on top of it. The next candle is green, but it's still laying on top of it. It's not until we actually get this candle right here that it's like, okay, so we're not breaking below our last pivot low. I really enjoy the pivot locations because it helps you to identify those trends on your chart. If you haven't seen a video called Trend Pivots, got a free video on my channel. Check out my channel, Trading Made Simple with Sandra, and have a lot of really cool kind of unique indicators, I'll say, that I like to use. This one being the trend pivot. Only because it draws the trend lines for you. If you're like one of those detailed anal people that are like, wait a minute, am I drawing this correctly? Is it supposed to be the bottom of the candle or the top of the candle? This just takes it all out for you. It's a very simple way to identify location on the chart. So let's take a look at the cues right now, and then we'll go over a watch list that we kind of had today. So momentum here kind of shallow on the cues. Even though it did bust through the zero line, you could see how the wave like immediately kind of corrected itself right here on this 5-minute candle. So looking to see if we actually come right back up. It's a really nice setup. I often like when we actually are either close to the zero line or just like this, where we're just kind of slightly breaking it. And then as it curves up and price gets on top of the 20, it's one of my favorite setups. So looking to see if that ends up happening in the next couple minutes. I have this intraday mood indicator, and I kind of like it. It's very nice for premium sellers, just kind of telling you that, we're kind of neutral right now, hanging in the zone on a 5-minute chart. And let's see if we have anybody with any charts that you guys want to take a look at. Oh, Pan W, that was actually on our watch list. Let's take a look at Pan W. Oh, you guys have a whole lot of, well, geez, I'll just stop filling in my time here. I thought maybe you guys weren't talking to me today, so I got a lot of charts to go over. So let's go ahead and take a look at a Pan W. Pan W on a 5-minute. We looking for a swing on this? Because wow, it had a nice day today already close to the 5-minute pivot high. And you can see this area at 321.03. And you can also see the trend line that it's creating on a 5-minute. If we move out to a 15, oh, that's beautiful setup right here. Just doing a little bit of a pullback. This right here is like my 5. I just like to see where that's at. Really, we're very far away on a 15 from the 20. And the 20 is kind of like my reversion to the mean. So, there's always an ebb and flow of the market. And so I really like using the 20s. Some people like a VWAP. Whatever you like to use is fine. It's really specific to how you identify movement on the chart, right? So as far as price movement is concerned, we're staying above that 5, which is really bullish. And if we break below there, then our next support level is going to be that 315.04 level, which is on a 20 EMA, excuse me. And you can actually see that this morning it actually broke above. So really kind of bullish here, the look on it here. On a 1 hour, now this would be for like a short swing. I really like looking at the 15-minute chart, and I also like looking at the 1 hour. So on a 1 hour, you got momentum that is bullish. Even though it's like just waning a little bit, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to break the zero line. When it breaks the zero line, that's when you kind of recognize that, oh, wait a minute, we're changing trend. And then I look at the hourly, and even the hourly here is above on momentum. And so typically speaking, unless there's a divergence, right, a momentum drives price. So if momentum is strong, it's going to make, the price rise. Momentum actually drives the price. So I love looking at a momentum indicator just to kind of see the flavor of it all. And then for me, an easy thing for me to look at is basically that 20 on any time period. I just really like it. You can see Pan W, even on a day chart, is above the 20. It actually came down and tested it, which is a really strong movement for the next candle here today to be above it. It tested it, didn't break it, came down, did a reversion to the mean, and popped right back up. And so you can see that we have this area of consolidation. There seems to be a little resistance zone. And my indicator here, which is called the bullseye, is indicating, hey, look, at 320, this is a nice, on a day chart, this is a nice long entry. So you could see that the previous days, I call this like a block wall. So it's a block wall of consolidation. And though we've had some inside candles, some outside candles, within this period of time, it's still consolidating in this area. And that's why my indicator is identifying, look, this is still bullish. We're above the 20, but we really need to get above that 320. And then we have targets to 329, 338, and 346. Your stop loss on that, if you're writing this down or taking a snapshot, your stop loss here is at 311. So this is excellent, not only for, if you're doing some stock buying, if you could afford it, or if you're doing some options. So what kind of trade could we take on this? Well, you know, I love the debit spread. The debit spread really gives you the ability to hang on to a trade for longer than a couple days if it's going against you. And don't we want those superpowers? So a lot of us, you know, don't have diamond hands. And, you know, when I'm training new traders, this is one of the most difficult aspects psychologically to get over, is that, you know, there is an ebb and flow of the market as well as your ticker. And you're going to have those days where it's going to be 30, 40% down. Depending on your risk level and your analysis when getting into this trade, you know, you should kind of expect some sort of movement. That's why it's so important, you know, to take a trade when you're either at support or you're at resistance, because what that allows you to do is identify a very minimal risk level for yourself. But when you're taking a trade that you're kind of in the middle of, unfortunately, then, you know, it could go either way. And so it's kind of a crapshoot. You have a better odds of succeeding if you get it at either support or resistance. Now, granted, at those levels, you're going to have fake outs. But hey, again, it's your best opportunity to get into a trade because it's minimal risk. You know exactly where resistance is. You know exactly where support is. So that's how Pen W looks for me. I like it. And you can see that consolidation. And by the way, what do we have after consolidation? Well, we either have accumulation or distribution, right? We're either going to break out or we're going to break down from consolidation. So that's what we're, my dog's coughing in the background. I'm sorry. So I don't know if you can hear that, but he is kind of choking. Anyway, so what we're looking at, I digress. So what we're really looking at here is a really nice setup is what we're looking at. And we're really looking for a breakout here, aren't we? It looks bullish today. It's been consolidating. If it breaks above 320, we're breaking long. If it breaks below 311, or let's make it my 20, 310.05. Do you see that blue label? 310.05. If it breaks below there, you could take a put debit spread as an example. So you could automate this entire thing without getting to it into a trade today. You could automate this good till cancel. And this could be your setup for Pan W. I think it's awesome. You have your call, 320, anything above it, you're in a long debit spread. If you go down below 310, you're in a put trade, put debit spread. So, so that's what I see on Pan W. That's a nice one. And by the way, let's see, I actually had that on our watch list in our Discord. Let me pull that up real quick and I can tell you our levels. So for Pan W, let's see, we were looking at if it breaks above 315. How interesting. So break above, and this is an analytical team that we have that actually puts this together. So we have a weekly watch list as well as a daily watch list. And this is a team of 3 guys that put this together. And it's always nice to, like, I see what I see on my chart. They're looking at something else and probably a different time frame. So let's do that real quick. Let's look at a 1 hour. And you could see that the 315 level here on a 1 hour chart is identifying as, hey, this is bullish. So 314.59 is what they identified with their targets at 318. Look at my indicator here. This is awesome. 318.36 and 321.32. Now my indicator is based off of ATR levels. Their levels are actually identified just by the previous candlesticks. So you know that. Now, for Pan W, a break below 314.59, a break below 314.59, so that's like right under here, is going to be a short. And that's only if it rejected it. So it didn't reject it. It actually went right through it. So because of that, we're probably not looking at a short today. But that level, if it would have been rejected, would have been at 314.59 for levels at 310 and 307. So that's Pan W. Nice little rundown on that. All right. Let's see. Hopefully that helps. Let's take a look at another one. CRM, wanting to do a swing on CRM. All right, let's do that. Let's take a look at that. Oh, nice on a, so we have on an hourly, I like looking at the 15 and a 1 hour on an hourly for a short swing. So looking at the 15 and a 1 hour, I mean, we are far away, right, from the 20 on an hourly. And for the 15, let's take a look at it. 15, we're actually coming down to do a retest. And you could see this little area of consolidation. It's kind of, boy, look at all the targets that we hit on a 15 for today, guys, on CRM. Wow. So looking for CRM actually to stay above that 242.60 area, 242.60. And you can see that momentum on a 15, it's still above the 20. As long as it stays above the 20, and you can see the consolidation, which is those yellow bands. So consolidation right here is at 242. Let's make it 242.50. So looking for CRM to stay above 242.50 by the end of today. And that's why most institutions and large traders get into their swings at the end of the day, is to see how price action is actually, what it's doing all day, not just for a very short period of time. So if you're looking for this as a longer swing, I would ID this as 242.50, looking for it to stay above that. 15-minute chart's excellent to take a look at for some continuation. And I really like the wave of momentum here on the hourly. It took a little, it's taking a little breather here, but nothing too drastic. It's not pointing down, breaking the zero line. So I like that. And then if we look at a shorter, you can see that momentum is waning here for it, but it's popping back up. So, and look at the trend line. Let's see, look at how it just, obeys this trend line so well. And look how when it gets over to it, it starts to consolidate. And where is this trend line on a 5-minute? It's at 242.64. So giving it a little bit of room for a fake out. What do we 242.50 as an example? That would be a great area to see it hold for this afternoon for a continuation. And if not, if it starts to break down, where's it going, guys? It's going right over here to 240. So if you don't want to hold through those $2, you might want to get rid of your swing, unless, of course, you're in a longer dated option, or you're in a spread of some sort, which, of course, allows you to hold much longer. Or maybe even you have stock shares and you're okay to hold through that dip. So that's what I would be taking a look at for CRM. I hope I covered it. If I didn't, yell out at me. Oh, great. Glad you like that, Elon. Oh, no, somebody wants, let's see, MBIO. I don't do the penny stocks, but I'm happy to look at it. Let's look at something like that. MBIO. I just don't recommend it to my traders. I just, yeah, I just don't do this kind of thing. But hey, and I probably don't do it because of like this type of action. It's like, just flip a coin, would you? So got some crazy movement today. Nice crossover. This isn't today. This is a daily chart. This was like 3-4 days ago, right? On the 17th. And then you can see, boy, those big swings. So anytime that you're on any time period, right? And you see those big wicks, boy, that's called, wild price action, especially for how big those candles are for this size of stock. So looking at it on a smaller time frame, looks like we did. Look at the gap fill, guys. We talk about a gap fill. We talk about a gap fill and then a crap, right? If this could have been a gap and go, you would have seen bullish continuation on this ticker. And it doesn't matter like what ticker it is. This is just like price action 101. So as you can see, we have a vertical trend line here. We with a wick, right? We did an automatic gap fill and then we come down. So until we actually break above this gap fill, and by the way, that's the last pivot high. So I'm looking at 85 cents. Let's make it 86 cents. If it breaks above 86 cents, we're going to have bullish continuation. Outside of that, we're just in a range from the last pivot high into the low, and we're like right in the middle. This is not the place to be. But because we've been consolidating, if you're looking for a day trade, because we're consolidating right here, this is called Darvis bands. I love this consolidation indicator. And so if you're wanting to get into a day trade and you just had to do it, well then 68, let's make it 69. 69 breaking above 69, you're breaking above that consolidation area. We've been consolidating since about 11 o'clock. So we'll see how much longer it consolidates. This could go all afternoon, but at least you know the levels. We're saying 69 for the upside on a day trade. We're saying, let's see, how about 60 on the downside for a put trade if you're looking for something short term on this stock. And then let me just look at an hourly really quick. Oh, actually, that looks really nice for an hourly coming back, hitting support. This is actually a consolidation area that it's identified. We did a little fake out here, came back up. I have this, we have momentum. So what I would like to see is momentum, and you can use the CCI if you want to just follow along with my analysis. But if momentum crosses above that zero line and we stay above that 20, which by the way is 63 cents on an hourly chart. Wow, what a nice setup for a swing trade to go higher. Okay. All right. Usually don't do those types of stocks. Not used to looking at those at all. Loving what you hear and how she breaks it. Oh, well, awesome. Come visit me, tradingmadesimple.org. By the way, I have a YouTube channel, ton of videos, ton. Price action, indicators. I love indicators. I love price action. I love gamma. I'm a premium seller. I love 0DTE SPX trades. We have some on right now. So if you're into all of that, come on over, check us out. Great. Let's see. I was like 83. Let's see. NVIDIA up 5 from the low of day. That's good to hear. Yeah, who isn't a huge fan of PanW? I like PanW too. Nike, let's take a look at Nike. I didn't see that one. All right, Nike on a 1 hour. Gosh, look at that nice momentum for the last couple days, right? Sweet. Staying above, and it's just grinding. But you can see, by the way, even though momentum, right? Momentum was above the zero line, you could see how, price moves up, consolidates, moves up a little, right? Consolidates. And that's really, if you're able to get into a trade vehicle like a debit spread or a credit spread or any type of spread, butterflies are fun. You can actually be able to handle this kind of movement. You can also go to your trade tab as an example and utilize what the expected move is for the date that you're looking at. And so that's always nice too. And then you can kind of create a strategy. And of course, I'm like so big on automation. So if you can automate this stuff and take the human emotion out of this, then I think you're so much farther ahead than a lot of people who are manually trading. So Nike right now, staying in, we have live charts in our Discord community, and we set like little alerts to let people know, hey, what's up? So I'm curious to see what that is, but I'm not gonna go talk about just automating it. So we have some consolidation here, and you can see that we broke through consolidation, and then all of a sudden, we come back to visit it. Now, anytime that you can identify a support and resistance zone, okay, anytime, your first breakout of that area is actually not the best trade. It's the retest of it. So we came out on an hourly, we broke out, we came back and did a retest on the red candle, right? And then now a green candle's forming. So as long as it breaks above that 96 area, we're going to have continuation. It's just been in consolidation right here, and it's ready to break out. So that's on a longer time frame. When we look at a 15, which is really good for intraday trades as well as like short swings. You could see that a reversion to the mean. It breaks out of the 20, comes back to the 20. Looks like, look at the fake out here. Is, you know, was this going to be a fake out? Look at momentum, how the wave just comes right back up into the bullish zone. So I really like this setup right here. This for continuation to the long side. And where's the target's going to be? Just look left. That's all you have to do. If you're looking left, then you have a target here at 96, a little bit higher at 96.65. And then from there, we have targets. So my indicator right here, which is just average true range, no secret sauce, guys, but it is a cool indicator. 96.32. That's when you're going to enter the call. You could also place your stop here, which is so perfect, right at the 20. I love it. 95 and 97. Well, I'm the one who developed the indicators. So clearly the way that I trade was made into this so that it could be an easy visual identifier of how I actually read the chart. So 95, 97, when I automate things and even when I'm trading, I like to pad it a little. And the reason I pad it is because these zones are everyone knows these zones. All the computers know the zones, all the indicators know the zones. And because of that, there's a lot of movement within that zone. So what I would suggest is that you always give yourself a little room. Don't look at that zone as like it's to the penny. I'm a detail-oriented A-type personality, so I totally get it. But once you have some experience, you'll recognize that these zones are called fake outs because there's so much activity within that zone. A lot of buying is happening in the zone. A lot of selling is happening in the zone. And what does that do with price? It makes that candle break the line that you have on your chart, come back in it, come back, and this flip-flop basically. So I call them fake outs. So the confirmation for me is a candle that's outside of it. So like as an example, this guy touches it, this guy's laying on top of it, right? And I'm on a 15. So depending on what time frame you're trading, just you can use that. And it's the simplest way if you're constantly getting faked out of a trigger level. Just look at it and say, okay, if that's my trigger level, I need one candle on a 5-minute chart, as an example, if you were day trading, to be away from that zone, not touching it. And then you have some confirmation. At least you increase the odds of success on the direction that you chose. And if not, then you're just going to go sideways for who knows how long while premium is draining out of your straight call or put, right? All right, guys. I didn't actually take any trades. Do you guys want to take some trades today on a couple of them that we just did? I don't know if Zunaid is just going to cut me off or what. What happened?
We've got about 2 minutes. If you got a quick spread that you want to put on, we can. And we've got a coming up as well. So we put on one quick trade if you have it.
All right. I was wondering what happens if you just like the thing.
Well,
it comes across.
Right. Thankfully, we can just kind of do just kind of do that.
I like this. Let's do a weekly on Nike, guys. Let's do a weekly on Nike. Yeah, we could come over here on Nike. Let's take a 7-day out for next week. Now, remember an easy setup here, guys. 50% profit, 50% loss, in and out, boom. So you can go right over here to your vertical tab and then go right over here to 97.98. You're looking for this to stay above 98 by the end of next week. And if you do, it's going to cost you $40 to get in, but you can make up to $60 by next week. So that's what we're looking for. I'm going to take a couple of these and we'll set that in there and hopefully get filled. If not, just adjust the price by a couple cents. Remember, don't be a dick for a tick. Am I allowed to say that on live TV?
You said it.
It's something that I once heard and it just stuck with me. How can it not stick with you? If you want to get into this trade, we're traders. This is the price of doing business. So risk management is number one. These little pennies right here, not a big deal. Don't sweat the small stuff. We'll see you next Friday.
Awesome. Appreciate you. And of course, go ahead and tell the folks where they can find you one more time.
Oh, thank you. Tradingmadesimple.org and check out my YouTube channel. Got a lot of videos there. Trading Made Simple with Sandra.
All righty. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. We will see ya next Friday. Again, a lot more content to come as well. Generally appreciate your time here today.
Bye, guys. Have a great week.
Take care. All right, y'all. Hope you guys enjoy the content so far. Options trading is always popular. And as we kind of promised you, right? We've got a lot more content coming up when it comes to not just trading options, but also how to learn to trade options, working with our B2C team and also a couple of different sponsors as well to go ahead and get things growing. But go ahead and give me a thumbs up, Bala, whenever you're ready, and we can go ahead and get the show on the road. And, we've got a great interview coming up with iLearningEngines. Ticker on the NASDAQ is AILE. All access starts right now. Good afternoon, Bala. How are you?
Good afternoon, Zunaid. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy to kind of have this conversation with you. There's so many things to talk about, but before we kind of get started, give the viewers a quick overview of what is it that your company does.
Sure. We are iLearningEngines, and my name is Balakrishnan. I'm the president and the chief business officer. We are a leading applied AI platform for learning and work automation. We enable enterprises to rapidly productize and deploy a wide range of AI applications and a lot of use cases at scale. At the core, we are powered by proprietary vertical-specific AI models and data with a very flexible no-code AI canvas to drive out-of-the-box deployments. We're deployed in over 1,000+ enterprise customers, have about 4 million licensed users across 12 global vertical markets, which include healthcare, education, insurance, energy, and so. From an operational viewpoint, we are at a recurring revenue of 97% of our total revenue. Our trailing 5-year CAGR is 48%, positive adjusted EBITDA each year since 2020, and a rule of 40 company for the past 5 years. Zune?
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of great stats there. One question I have for you is, what's the company's current net retention rate, right? And how does it kind of compare to the industry's benchmark, especially in the AI sector itself?
Right, very good question. Our current net retention rate is about 132%, which operationally significantly outperforms the industry average, which is at about 101 to 102% for tech companies in the SaaS domain. This again is a key indicator that we are retaining our clients, very high customer retention, and also very successfully expanding our relationships through upsells and cross-sells. Sunny?
Got it. And then what are the strategies, though, that go behind your company to implement these and achieve what you've got going on with the net retention rate?
Great. At ILE, what we drive across all our engagements is a proof of concept, a POC-led strategy, which helps us get closer to our customers and build very strong, scalable client relationships. That is one key aspect of our strategy to drive a very high net retention rate. Besides that, we've got dedicated success managers who ensure our clients maximize the value from our AI engagements and touch points deployed into the client premises. Thirdly, we invest significantly into R&D to ensure our AI solutions remain cutting edge and continuously innovate our product offerings based on what the clients tell us constantly, and we continue to meet their evolving needs. Bottom line, Zunaid, is we set a benchmark in terms of support services that we've heard from our customers that no competitor has been able to match. And this is supported through a very, very strong channel partner relationship model, which helps us to keep scaling in the markets that we operate in.
Now, when you're working with these companies, so many companies want to be a part of the AI revolution, right? They want to be engaging in it. They want to go ahead and have it be a part of their business and streamline their processes for them. What are some challenges that you see these companies facing? But also, more importantly, how are you helping them face these challenges and provide those solutions?
See, at the core, most of the organizations have been struggling with long deployment timelines in terms of the time taken for AI to be deployed, which includes one of the outcomes of or offsets of that is high initial costs, deep integration costs with their existing systems, and a very, very steep learning curve for employees. So what ILE does is we have driven by a no-code canvas, which makes the whole platform configurable and provides rapid deployment with, we would say, minimal disruption to the enterprise's way of working. So the AI engines, which is created on our platform, they leverage what we call pre-built modules and data that is pre-trained for specific industries. So what this essentially means to a customer is that a client starts benefiting from very accurate insights and automation almost immediately from deployment. So we are able to deploy this platform in about 3 to 6 weeks from when we begin the engagement and the discovery session with the customer, which is something that helps drive very measurable outcomes across our client engagements.
Let's continue on the topic of challenges, because I like where you kind of provided the solutions that you have to help these companies, but data security has got to be one of the top key ones as well, right? So much data is now being collected in terms of AI on the consumer on the other side. And of course, now who knows what the future of EV looks like. And I'm hearing even planes might be, automated there. But when it comes to data security, what measures are you taking to make sure that it's protected from getting into the wrong hands?
Well, at ILE, we provide the platform in multiple modes to the customer based on what the customer prefers. So while data security is critical and the cornerstone of what we provide, we offer multiple models in terms of on-premise. We offer a private cloud deployment for industries like, say, for example, education, banking, and finance. The data security and compliance are very, very critical parameters that have a great say in decision making. So by allowing our customers to opt for on-premise or a private cloud deployment, we help address these concerns and also provide the safeguard mitigants for sensitive information. Now, our implementation process is compliant with global industry standards, which exist across these regulatory frameworks, and which also ensures that customer data at every point is protected at the highest level.
Do you have any examples of companies that you've successfully integrated with in terms of these legacy systems of what you're working on?
Yeah, I would like to take a quick example, if that may help explain the context. One of our large customers is a global manufacturing conglomerate with about 22 business units and 40,000 employees in about 6 to 8 locations globally. So at some point, they had a great deal of trouble aligning the subject matter experts inside the company to drive company-specific training for their 40,000 employees, and plus an ancillary dealer network of around 10,000 plus. So they had no ways to get this done. So while the company was struggling with two critical parameters, which is siloed knowledge and expertise not being carried through the organization. So they wanted to get a handle on performance dynamics on a daily basis across the network. So what ILE did specifically in this account was we did an enterprise-wide, used our enterprise-wide knowledge cloud to ingest and aggregate and curate all the enterprise content from multiple touch points within the industry, within the company, creating an institutional IP repository for them. So from there on, we integrated with their SAP and SuccessFactors, and they also had a platform called BMC Remedy, and a host of other homegrown bespoke platforms which seamlessly integrated into the ILE framework through the no-code canvas to capture every event trigger in one single place. So by doing that, Sunay, we were able to drive learning automation by integrating ILE into the enterprise and also having the enterprise content indexed at scale, which is the bulwark of our ability to provide learning and workflow automation across the enterprise.
Yeah, the seamlessness of making sure everything is aligned is critical, right? We see that on our end in terms of Benzinga. Heck, I even see it in my personal life of how things hectic could be, and I would love automation in my life in many ways. Final question for you: how big can this get, right? What is the upper limit to this market, especially in terms of AI as well?
We see the market converging with multiple tailwinds across multiple areas. The artificial intelligence market is predicted to be a market of around 135 plus billion with a 5-year CAGR of about 25%. By 2025, we've got a global e-learning market, which is a 250 plus billion market with a CAGR of about 16%. Now, dovetailing into both of these is what we call the hyper-automation and the insights market, which is, again, a 60 to 65 billion market by 2026. Now, we operate at the sweet spot where all these forces converge. So we bring in AI, we bring in a no-code canvas, and we layer all of that with what is the sweet spot, which is configurability. So by bringing in configurability, we are able to address a total market size, a TAM of about, on the global learning side, of about 250 billion and hyper automation of around 65 billion. So we believe the ceiling is pretty high for a lot of people to operate in this market successfully going
I look forward to the growth. Obviously, you've already had great success. I was looking at your earnings transcript and things like that. But before I let you go, any final thoughts from you? Anything I didn't get a chance to bring up? The viewers are all yours.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to say that we would continue to stay focused on driving growth and keeping our growth margins scaling, and ensuring that we continue to invest significantly into R&D, which has been the big pivot, which has helped us to create differentiators in the market. And we look forward to our growth in the global markets and the verticals, which include healthcare, education, insurance, retail, and energy. And very happy to be here with you, Zunay.
And well, hey, as you reach those milestones, I'd love to have you come back and kind of explain it to the viewers, what exactly that means and where else the business is continuing to grow. Thank you so much for your time, Bala.
Great, Zunay. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. You got it. That is, I mean, it's AI is such a big space, chat, that you want to kind of find the companies that are dominating it from different angles as well. And again, that was Bala, who's the president and chief business officer at iLearningEngines. Ticker on the NASDAQ is AILE. And we thank you for watching All Access.